Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's episode of Critical Role, where a bunch of us nerdy-ass voice actors sit around and play Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah! Before we hop into tonight's episode, let's get through some announcements very quickly. First and foremost, we have our fantastic returning sponsor, our friends since the beginning of Campaign 2, D&D Beyond. Sam.
D&D Beyond just released, this is actually kind of exciting, just released the new Creatures section. Users now have a place to add any type of monster stat block for easy reference during play. You can add your favorite wild shape or familiar forms, keep up with your ranger's companion, summon creatures, mounts, ferrets, or what do we have, a weasel? Yeah. Followers and more. You can also track hit points and customize the name and stats for all your creatures. And to celebrate, I've crafted a quick little trivia quiz for Laura. Oh. We'll start with Laura. We'll start. Okay. Bounce around. I searched through D&D Beyond's list of actual familiars listed on their site. I will name 4 creatures. One of these is actually a board game. The other 3 are actual D&D familiars, which is the board game and not a familiar. Okay. A, Boggle. B, Juiblex. C, Pudding King. D, Unstable Unicorns.
Boggle.
Incorrect.
What? No, Boggle.
I said which is a board game and not a familiar. A Boggle is also a familiar. Unstable Unicorns is the correct answer.
Unstable.
Taliesin, yes. One of these is a West Hollywood bar. Ready. 3 of these are D&D familiars. Which is the real bar? The Naughty Pig, the Man Trap, the Steel Predator, the Cockatrice.
Which of these is
a real bar?
The Naughty Pig.
Correct!
I know my West Hollywood bars, man.
Oh my god.
Marisha, one of these is an Australian candy. The other are beasts on the list. Which is the real Australian candy? Analfeshni? Musk stick?
All of Australia turning up.
Oka jelly? Vegapigme.
What was the last one?
Vegapigme.
No, that's not a familiar.
What's B?
Musk stick. You got it correct.
Hey!
It's actually a candy from Australia.
Vegapigme is familiar?
Vegapigme's legit.
I'm gonna skip the next one. Go straight to Travis. Sorry, Liam. You lose. No, I'll do Liam's too. Okay. One of these is a Kama Sutra position. The other 3 are beasts. Which is a Kama Sutra position? The flying snake. The curled flower.
Cold flower?
Curled flower.
Curled flower.
The stench cow. Or the corpse flower.
Which one is the
Kama Sutra sexy position?
Come on.
Which one is?
Yes.
No, yes. Run through those really fast.
Flying snake, curled flower, stench cow, corpse flower.
Oh God, too fast.
You got it. Pick one. Go
Corpse
with it.
flower, corpse flower.
Corpse
The only thing I can remember, you said it too fast.
Curled flower
I
is.
want the corpse flower.
All right, speed round. I'm still going. Travis.
Yes.
I'm gonna say pairs of names. One of each is a World Wrestling Entertainment wrestler. The other is a D&D familiar. Grung or Mojo Rawley? Oh shit. Say the one that's the wrestler. Grung or Mojo Rawley?
Grung.
No.
Mojo Rawley.
Manchun or Fandango?
Manchun.
No. Lou Crata or Lou Albano?
Lou Albano.
Correct. Annis Hag or Grand Metallic?
Grand Metallic.
Correct. And one more. Gif or Mert? They're both beasts. They're both beasts. Hey!
I don't think Mert would appreciate being called a beast.
I don't know what
But a
any of these
familiar,
things are.
perhaps.
A
Sure.
familiar. A familiar.
Thank you, Sam.
Wow.
And thank you, D&D Beyond.
Wow.
Good question.
I did a lot of research on D&D Beyond today. It was fascinating to scroll through the list of beasts and familiars.
Especially impressed you found the list of West Hollywood bars on D&D Beyond.
yeah.
That's really that's an obscure graph.
It's amazing. It's amazing the reach the program has now. So thank you, D&D Beyond, for your sponsorship. Gotta catch them all. All right, so A couple of other updates. The latest episode, Between the Sheets, starring our fantastic Liam O'Brien right here, is now available on YouTube, on the Critical Role YouTube. Just that's youtube.com/Critical Role. Make sure to check out this coming Monday on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Critical Role at 7 p.m. Pacific, to see the next episode of Between the Sheets with our fantastic Sam RIEGEL.
I'm on the show.
You're up next week. Yeah, get ready.
Did they pay me?
That would be a conversation to have with the creative director.
Brian pay me? Brian has to pay me. To be anywhere within 500 feet of it. It's the rule.
I think legally you're not supposed to be. But yeah, so check that out on Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific on our Twitch channel. And the next episode of All Work No Play airs tomorrow, also at twitch.tv/Critical Role at 7 p.m. Pacific time. You get to watch these two awesome gentlemen here, as well as the special guest, Stephanie Shea.
We're doing the Rage Room.
The Rage Room
tomorrow.
It's gonna be fun. Got almost all of it out.
Benadryl.
So there's that. Anybody else have any other announcements?
The pre-orders for the Keyfish t-shirt start shipping tomorrow. Outside of that, just go to the shop. You'll know the drill.
There you go.
And we're gods.
Sassy.
All right then. Without further ado, I say it's time we go ahead and dial in for tonight's episode of Critical Role.
I like the
And welcome back.
Never an accident.
No, never. So, last we left off, the Mighty Nein, following their thread of information in pursuit of the source of the strange sphere that Ford had come into the possession of, that seemed to tie in some way, shape, or form to the magical powers he had been slowly learning to control and manifest, led you southward to the Menagerie Coast, where you commandeered a ship named the Mist, which you then renamed the Mistake, hired a crew and made your way southeast towards the island of Urukayxl to follow the apparent source of this note that seemed to have some information about where it was from and where it may go. Upon approaching, you were greeted by a much larger ship, which had shot a warning shot across the bow and demanded you to come meet the captain on their deck. You there met Captain Avantika, who had given you the options of either proving yourselves beneath her and her crew by helping them, putting yourself in danger at her behest, or they would weigh your corpses down with rocks within the nearby bay amongst the reefs. You agreed to give in to these demands, and in an evening stay within the ship known as the Squall Eater, a little bit of thievery went into the cargo hold of the ship, while Ford had been called to the captain's quarters, where the two of you discovered that you had something in common. You both appeared to have been, from her words, the chosen of Ukutoa, an ancient entity referred to as the Leviathan that was a historical creation of Zahir, the cloaked serpent, before it was banished along with the rest of the gods in the calamity and following divergence. Now, the captain seeing herself as the chosen and seeing you in a similar state, this kismet was grappled onto quite strongly by her and sent you to bed with the excitement of this travel of which you would embark upon in the next day. Upon waking, you found that Jamedi, a hired adventurer and dungeoneer, who was set out to scope the island and find this temple, this supposed structure that was built in honor of Uk'otoa long ago and had since been retaken by followers of the Cloaked Serpent. Jamedi returned, finding the rest of the path too dangerous, but had managed to locate the whereabouts of this temple. Now you've gathered your things, you left the Squall Eater onto a couple of skiffs, rowed yourself onto the white beach shores of Urukayxl, and as you all step across the long beach towards the line of trees that makes the jungle, you make your way into this mysterious wooded area. So, Mighty Nein, welcome to the jungle.
Welcome to the jungle.
You're gonna die!
So as Jamedi begins pushing forward into this, I would like to, one, have a marching order.
Ah, that fast, huh?
I mean, you guys are going into dangerous
I'll
territory.
be up front.
Yeah, right.
Yasha's first, we're all 60 feet behind her.
All right, Ford's up front.
Yep.
I'll be behind him.
All right, Avantika.
Next gesture.
Avantika's going to go ahead and ride up with Ford.
I'll be behind Jester.
She's got a nice mini.
Thank you.
Oh shit.
Jamedi's going to be scouting a little bit ahead. All right. Not where are you?
I guess I'll scout with Jamedi.
Yeah.
I'll be behind Jester, yeah. Or with Jester.
Okay. Yasha will hold up the rear from a defensive standpoint. Caduceus.
Ice train will be
Caleb.
caboose.
I'll be towards the back, I guess.
Caleb, same.
I will walk behind Beauregard.
Okay. So Caduceus will be there. Okay.
Also, question: what is the temperature like here on this island? Are we tropical at this point, or?
You are very much in tropical weather. It is warm, it is humid, and even within maybe 10 minutes of walking into the jungle, you could feel the sweat beginning to gather at the edges of your hair and the back of your coat.
Caleb would then have taken his coat off and sort of twisted it up and tied it to the back of his coat, so he's just with the holstered books and his shirt sleeves rolled up at this point. It's so
Okay.
hot.
So you're leaving the coat behind, or you?
No, I just tied it onto the back of my pack.
Okay, gotcha. Cool.
Rolled it up like a carpet.
So, as you begin to step through the soft floor of the island jungle, each footstep coming with a sort of a spongy pressure before it hits hard earth, rock, or just compressed compost and soft vegetation. I need you all to roll a stealth check.
Oh shit.
As a group, as you progress.
I cast Pass Without a Trace, so everyone around me gets +10.
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
She's nice in the middle for a good spread.
May I put up my cloaky thing?
Of course.
Okay.
I'm also gonna.
Bless you.
Wow.
First roll the CR dex.
I'm gonna politely ask the local greenery and let them know that we're gonna be coming through and that we're gonna try not to disturb them so long as nothing disturbs us. And
Did you cast Pass Without a Trace on it?
Do you
Yes,
do that
I
out
did.
Loud?
yeah, I have to.
The local greenery?
Yeah, well, I mean, I gotta talk to a couple trees and let them know that we're coming through.
And I'm going to give the blessing of the trickster to Forb.
I don't need it, but okay.
Ooh, thank God for that +10, because that was terrible.
All right, so Avantika and Jamedi. Got it. All right, so Caduceus.
15.
Good.
32.
We're all within the.
Yeah.
So 30-foot radius, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. 24.
26.
29.
25.
You guys, and I'll roll for Yasha as well. Oh, natural 18. All right. You guys ever so quietly disappear into the jungle brush without issue. The hanging vines and heavy palm fronds around you, heavily obscuring your procession deeper into this.
Caduceus, can I ask you, what do you hear when you converse? Yeah, I'm sorry.
If you want to hear it, you have to listen for it. Hear that? You hear that? you hearing then?
Nothing.
Exactly. Yeah, that's good. All right. They're not saying anything.
Continuing onward, who is keeping watch on this?
Me and
I'm keeping an eye out.
who am I up there with? Costco?
Jimmy,
Oh,
yeah.
the front.
Yeah, and Caduceus,
I'm
please.
keeping an eye around as well.
All right. So go ahead and roll perception for your vicinity. You guys rolling perception for the path ahead of you.
3.
What the fuck? Plus.
Plus 0.
Why are you rolling perception checks?
I'm in the front. Makes sense.
Did you get a haircut?
No, I just styled it a little bit differently.
good.
Oh, that's
Thank
nice.
you. Yeah.
It's been the loss of your Samson-like powers.
So anyway, bring it in. Pushing forward, you look ahead and it's just endless trees and hanging vines and heavy roots in the ground, and you feel nice and confident in the fact that nothing is catching your attention. And a hand touches your shoulder and turns you to the right. It's Jimmy who goes, "Shh. Look, this here. This was the first one." And he pulls out a small piece of paper and is like taking notes. I have not looked further within, but this was the first marker to our entry inside. As he points over to show you, you see what looks to be about 100 or so feet off, partially obscured by one of the nearby heavy fronds. You see what looks to be a dilapidated driftwood shack with like a frond-thatched roof. Kind of looks back to the rest of you as you begin to approach. This is the first marker. Do we have a need to stop or do we press on?
You've been past here before?
I've walked through but did not stop. I do not know if it is safe or not.
Maybe we should go investigate just in case there's an early warning system or something and there's someone in there watching us?
Yeah. Caduceus? No. You want to check it out?
Us?
Yeah.
Sure.
Such a good idea.
That is a really good idea.
All right. I'll take a big swig and go towards it.
Jimedi begins to move, and Navantika puts her hand out and stops Jimedi and goes, "They'll be sorry, but you are more important than this. You too. You can do this without him, eh?"
Yes, we can, Captain.
Very well. We await your return.
We're supposed to be listening to her or something. I don't know.
All right.
So the two of you tread on. As you approach, you get a good look at it. It looks like this hut has been untouched in a long while. A lot of the overgrowth in the jungle has kind of reclaimed the base of the wood. A lot of it appears to be driftwood or ramshackle planks that have been carved from trees that have fallen over in the vicinity, or possibly scavenged from shipwrecks that have washed ashore. It is a mismatch of different types of wood and cobbled materials, but it is a shack. It's probably no more than 10 foot by 10 foot. It's not extremely large. You do see what looks to be kind of a half-rotted, kind of a sheet of some sort of thick material that kind of blocks the doorway. You see some holes that have been eaten through it.
Want me to go look or you?
Well, I mean, we have a choice here. You're harder to see, I suppose, so there's that.
All right.
I'll come up with you, though.
Okay. And I'll sneak up and kind of peek through the curtain.
Okay. You get to the curtain, and the material, it's a thick, it's actually, you can see this one probably once belonged to a sail or some sort of a heavy tarp that is just long, rotted and mildewed, and bits of it have kind of just, as you put your hand to it and kind of tug on it, elements of the threads kind of separate a little bit. Peering inside, you see it's mostly empty. There's a simple cot, there's a chair, a mildewed leather coat that appears to be half folded over and thrown in the corner, and what looks to be a small box up on the far end of the table in the room that's just open. There's no lid to it.
Steal the box.
It's the whole room smells faintly of rot.
Is there that I'm gonna kind of poke up and put my head in as well. There's no trapdoors, nowhere where anybody could be hiding or
I
anything.
can look for traps.
I mean,
You can make an investigation check if you want to go check the interior.
I was just curious immediately if there's anything I noticed.
I'll look around
yeah.
for traps on the floor and stuff.
I'm actually also going to look around. Actually, if you're doing that, I'm going to look around the outside to see if anybody's watching us.
Okay, make a perception check.
Investigation.
Yep.
13.
27.
27, okay. Glancing around the space, you see half of your party hiding mostly. Not too far off, but maybe 100 feet from the edge. Looking around, you notice there are a few animals that are up in the top of the trees, kind of leaping. Looks to be almost some sort of a monkey-type creature, small, kind of leaping from branch to branch. You see a few colorful jungle birds that are up in the higher elements of the treetops, but no, at the moment, noticeable dangerous figures that could be lurking nearby.
Ethan's really watching.
Yeah.
All right.
You, kind of looking about, kind of touching the floor. You don't notice any trapdoors. You don't notice any, you find one plank that feels kind of loose, and you're like, and you pull it up, and it's just dirt.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just the table, the cot, the open box.
Well, then I'll use Mage Hand to reach up for that box and grab it off the shelf.
Okay. You go ahead and pull the box off the shelf and pull it over. It has a bunch of old, dry-rotted navigation tools. You can see what looks to be some, like a wooden-handled magnifying glass. You can see there was a piece that held what looked to be an instrument that was used for charting paths along maps, but the wooden elements of these have kind of warped over time and then dried out, and they're metallic bits that are rusted a bit.
Does the magnifying glass look like it might still work, maybe?
It could probably still work, yeah. The glass hasn't been touched, it's just that the housing for it is rusted a little.
Mr. Clay, should we go in further, or what do you think?
I don't know. Has the bed been slept in? Is it seem like someone's been here recently, or is this abandoned, do you
Why
think?
don't you go check it out?
Huh? What? Oh, well, I'll put my head in.
Okay. Roll investigation check as you go and inspect the bed.
16.
16. Looking at the cot, it's a simple...
12, sorry, yeah.
12, okay. It's a simple... It's a simple cot. It looks like the material that kind of bows in the middle where somebody would have slept previously. It's stained from weather over time. Looking up at the thatched roof, it looks like there's probably been a few storms that have battered it enough to the point where it leaks through, and the place itself does not really keep any of the rain at bay. What manages to filter down through the treetops nearby, at least. As you kind of push on it, the material kind of tears a bit, and beneath it you look to see what appears to be a smaller chest of some kind.
Huh.
What?
Does this look dangerous to you?
A chest?
Yeah.
Looks like a chest. I can come see if it's trappied.
Sure, I'm gonna take, actually, I'm gonna take a step back.
All right, I'll Mage Hand check for traps.
Okay.
Oh, wow, so far today I've rolled 2 3s and 3 4s.
Oh, buddy.
Switch that fucking dice out.
No, it's gonna pay off.
Just like a slot machine.
I was gonna say.
13.
13. The chest is locked. It does not appear to be trapped.
Okay, I'll open it. It's not trapped for sure.
Be my guest.
Nope, that's better. 24 to open up.
There you go.
Cherry.
So, you go ahead and... It opens up. Nothing seems to happen. It's relatively small. It's maybe like 6 by 4 inches in size. As you kind of slowly pull it open, kind of moving the cot out of the way, looking inside, immediately you see what looks to be some sort of a small golden statue, maybe 3 inches tall. That is, it seems to be a relatively simple carving. It's not extremely detailed, but the relief looks like the head of a cobra with the hood open, the jaw open with fangs drawn. And next to that, you see what look to be 3 approximately gold piece-sized rubies. They're that big around, but they're fairly thin.
I'll grab them all.
Okay.
Ruby
You pull,
buttons.
you pull them out of the thing. As you do, the weight that's been distributed outside of the chest causes it to slide forward, and at that point you notice that there is a cord attached to the base of the chest. The weight is what was holding it in place. Well, as you remove the objects, the chest slides back against the wall as whatever cable is attached to it goes through a loop through the ceiling, and you feel shifting as what looks to be a large urn of some kind that is currently set up inside the thatched roof tips over and begins to just release a payload on top of both of you.
Maybe it's just a silly prank. It's water.
It looks to be a cluster of poisonous snakes, dozens of them. Just stumble down from above. What do you guys do?
Oh my
What do we
God.
do?
Leap out of the way.
I mean, yeah, I guess I will try to not get hit by the cluster of snakes.
Go ahead and make a dexterity check.
All right.
Yeah, that rogue
Can't
shit.
Caduceus talk to him.
Dexterity saving throw.
Save.
Yes.
Say, friends.
23 to save.
You duck out of the way to the back, get your crossbow ready, and look down. The snakes hit the ground with a sludgy slap. All of these snakes have long been dead, and are mostly decomposed.
They didn't feed the trap snakes.
Apparently, whoever was handling this hut hasn't been here for a while.
Oh, that's sad.
Well, that's just sad. That's.
Do you want them to decompose?
I mean, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Maybe.
Yeah, I'll just see if I can start the muck going in here to maybe get a nice little indoor terrarium. I don't know what will happen.
Sure, they're still mostly decomposed, but the weather, or at least the way it was kept up in there, wasn't conducive to any sort of heavy jungle fungus, it seems. But you hurry that along.
Yeah.
You just through your cantrip managed to watch as these kind of dull blue and gray spores begin to apparate and grow across the pile of somewhat sludgy snake remains.
That's already better.
Were they real rubies, or was it all a ruse to get me to pull on them?
They appear to be.
Do I have them?
You have them. You have everything that's in the chest. So you have the gold idol, like the small snake head idol, and you have these three kind of gold piece shaped rubies. Essentially, they're about that thick and about that big around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make an investigation
Those
check.
are really
Yes.
big rubies.
Let's do perception. Actually, perception.
12.
12. Okay. You look at the rubies as you're inspecting them, and you can see they have little scratches at the edges. It's like slight, I wouldn't say imperfections. It's not like they were originally there, but you can see what looks to be small grooves or lines along the outer edge where something metal or pointy was used to scrape or picked.
All right.
Okay.
Ruby keys.
Good. This is some Uncharted shit right now.
There's some maps with the not
Nothing
just
else.
some tools. All right.
Just a few things left behind, and no sign of who once built or at least lived in this space nearby. But they haven't been here for a while, whoever they were.
Okay. Let's go tell the others about everything that we found except for all the rubies and gold. I'm kidding. We'll tell them about it.
All right. I'm okay. Sure. We can do that.
Unless you're cool with not telling them, because that's cool with me too.
Telling who what?
All right. You're confusing.
What did you find? What did you find?
I found those beautiful eyes of yours. I found 2 rubies.
2 whole rubies?
Yes.
Whoa, what do they look like?
Like this.
Ooh.
It'll look even better with the golden snake thing. I mean, the whole thing comes together.
What
So
golden
Oh, yeah?
Oh, there's a golden snake. I forgot.
Is it just a cobra head by itself, or is there also a body? Like,
No, it's just a head. It looks like probably maybe an inch below where the jaw opens. It's about 3 inches tall altogether.
Like our little mini Yasha bust?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Only with no torso. It's just like a snake head that's curled up, and it's only about from there to where the mouth is.
I tried to feed the ruby to the snake head.
Okay.
I have a look at this one, not the rubies.
Do I see anything cool about the rubies? Do I see the little...
You do also notice the small
Yeah.
scrapes, yes.
Are there any runes on this thing? Does it seem arcane in nature?
It does not appear to have any runes inscripted on it. There's no language carved or pressed into the mold. And it looks to be like it was sculpted not by a master artist or sculptor. Some of the details are a little loose, bleed a bit. Where the mouth and the teeth are, some of them are a little bent or off kilter. It looks like it was more of a passion project than a fine piece of craftsmanship.
Yeah, how does everyone feel about a 10-minute breather here? And I sit down and unholster my book and begin to cast Identify as a ritual.
Hey, can you do that on multiple things at a time, or is it just
one at a time?
That's
What do you
seems
have?
excessive.
What do you have that you want to identify?
You have a quicker way?
Just a thing.
What
It's
thing?
given to me.
What thing was given to you?
Feather from Neela forever ago.
Well, it's only 10 minutes.
You don't trust her?
Who's Neela?
I don't know. Just saying it might be magical.
Magic feather.
Magic feather.
I begin casting.
Nice lady who
Maybe it
has.
makes me fly.
Maybe it makes you fly. Maybe it makes you molt. There's all sorts of things that feathers could do.
Oh, that's right. You didn't meet Neela. Yeah.
Oh, good. You know, I
She
was
looked like
thinking I was
Caduceus.
forgetful
She
again.
was really nice.
Yeah.
We didn't look anything alike, but yeah, she was very nice.
Oh, sorry.
I'm much taller.
Yeah, we can take 10 minutes. We'll set out a little perimeters to make sure we deflect any unwanted.
That was
visitor.
I
generalizing
mean, if
of me. You're
Avantika
totally
thinks it's
correct.
okay,
No, I mean,
What was that?
statement of observation.
does Captain Avantika think it's okay for us to take 10 minutes?
Captain Avantika kind of like crosses her arms and impatiently goes, whatever it takes. If you think it'll get us there safer, I trust you and your specialities.
Okay.
Hey, is there any benefit to showing? I whisper. Is there any benefit to showing that Captain Avantika that letter we found that she wrote?
We should ask Ford before we do that.
All right. What's Ford doing right now? Hey, Ford!
Huh?
Ford! I whisper. Is there any benefit to showing Captain Avantika the letter that I think she wrote?
Why would we do that?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking. I'm a simple goblin. I don't know the world-weary ways of a sailor.
You certainly could. I don't see what harm it could bring.
stripy sailor outfit.
Sure, go for it.
No, I'll just hang on to it. If she ever is like, I don't know. If we ever need it, well, we got it.
I walk over. Hey, are we whispering? Oh, sorry. Sorry, we're whispering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never mind. We were just talking about this letter, but don't show Avantika. We could use it to copy her handwriting and write a check.
You never show people their stolen mail.
Oh, of course. I should have asked you first.
Yeah, don't. Absolutely not.
Okay.
Keep that shit on lock.
He's rolling dice, you guys.
Sage advice.
Yeah, we should probably. Is the shack large enough to house our entire?
No.
Not comfortably by
Okay.
any means.
We'll kind of.
We'll be quiet. We'll just stay still
All right, keeping
and look
watch.
around.
So in those 10 minutes, the kind of blanketed heat and humidity that this jungle tends to hold in is uncomfortable for those of you more used to the northern elements of this continent.
Yeah, this sucks.
The sweat is definitely collecting beneath all of your armor and clothing, pooling in areas which you hadn't expected. Your hair is matted against your face. The insects are starting to find their way to you as the scent of sweaty humanoid draws them nearby, occasionally being bit here and there. You finish casting Identify. It is not magical.
Yeah.
It doesn't have any magical properties. It seems to be just an idol. It looks like it was attached to something in the past, but it's probably literally worth its weight in gold.
Yeah, not. Here's your toy back.
Oh, thank you.
I have a question for you, Matt. Is it really? It's just us and Avantika and Jametti?
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
I scanned the forest. Are we being followed?
Make a perception check.
Fucking false shit. 6.
looks clear.
So foggy.
Yeah, that's humidity. Okay. I'll walk over to Avantika and say, might I ask, you said your men are dedicated to this cause as well. How much do you share with them?
I share what is needed. I share with them the elements of the dreams and visions I've been given. For me, it is one thing to have a loyal crew. It is another to have a crew that has faith in you beyond being just captain. I do not want a mutiny. And what's more effective than someone that thinks not only are you a proper captain, but you are the link to their god, huh?
Very effective.
There are ranging levels of belief, maybe, but I think with the time we spent together and the willingness to understand the possibilities of having a captain with such capabilities at their disposal, that, well, riches are not that far off on the horizon.
Well, blind belief is quite remarkable. I'm assuming you've shown them things to garner some level of expectation of your abilities?
Oh, do not misunderstand. I myself have gutted and cut down dozens of men who have attempted to take my position.
I don't doubt it for a moment.
Speaking of which, and she removes her dagger and rapier and kind of looks about, and you can see beautiful, beautiful weapons, very, very well made and very well kept. In fact, most of her equipment that she has, you can see her like fiddling with occasionally to just like adjust and clean things as she moves through. There's like a very forceful intent to make sure that everything is properly placed and well taken care of on her person. But she looks about and goes, and as much as we are keeping an eye on us ahead, I am still keeping an eye on all of you, of course.
I would expect nothing less.
Because while I would like to believe this newfound kinship could make for some very incredible possibilities in the future, you cross me, and this blade will find your heart faster than anything you've seen move.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that.
I hope not either. And she kind of reaches out and pokes your nose and turns around.
She booped you.
She
Nope.
booped you.
She just gets a finger full of sweat.
Was
Just
all
like
that
gross.
for Alta here, or were they off a bit?
They were off a bit. This was kind of away from everybody.
Are we satisfied?
Are you ready? Yeah, let's go.
Oh.
Let's keep going. What?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Break time over.
All right.
All right, Jimmy? Of course. And falling into the same positions with both Jimmy and Not. Taking point. Everybody make another stealth check, please.
Another self.
Do we get-
Tray still going? It goes for how
That's for an
long?
hour, right?
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, it's still going for them.
Oh, blessing. Who needs a blessing?
Technically, it's still on forward.
Oh, okay.
I'll take it. Is that advantage? Better. 21.
21? Okay.
19.
29.
29.
22.
17.
Okay. All doing pretty damn well. Continuing to coast forward for the next hour and a half or so, following Jamedi's path. You can see him pulling out notes here and there and kind of looking for different things. And occasionally you see he'll come upon some sort of a heavy palm tree or a jungle tree that he's marked with a blade, and he's kind of keeping tabs on his marks to follow his path back to where he originally found his way. Along the way, the insects are getting really obnoxious. The buzzing itself becoming this kind of low, droning, ever-present hum, but the bites are getting extremely obnoxious. Jimedi, acknowledging once he starts saying it more and more, and goes, I did not find them a problem before. Perhaps they seem to enjoy your flavors more than mine.
Really tasty.
Are the insects really not bothering him at all, or?
They're not bothering him, really, it seems.
Just out of idle curiosity.
Is he a human?
He's human.
I'm going to just
Bald,
very
dark
quickly
skin.
cast Eyes of the Grave.
Eyes of the what?
So anything undead within 60 feet is going to glow in I'm going to get a little glow off anything that registers as undead.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Okay.
Beauregard starts glowing.
You
Twist.
You get a very, very faint undead aura emanating from Jameti.
Still a twist.
Really? Out of the fucking blue.
He's
Cool.
good.
Do you share this knowledge with anyone?
Not, I mean, at some point when I can get if I can get to Ford quietly at some point.
All right. Well, first off, I need everybody to make a Constitution saving throw.
What? Why? Because it's so hot?
Just make one.
Just make one.
Just make one.
That's a saving.
Jeez, that was so close.
20.
All right.
9.
9.
9. Is that back? Is it back?
Okay.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Natural 12.
Okay.
12.
Natural 20.
All righty. Not bad. Good spread, guys. Okay. So, continuing to press on.
Okay, okay.
Somebody cast something. Somebody cast something, right? Does that mean somebody cast something?
Yeah, it's Jamaica.
Is it just so hot? What's happening?
I don't know.
So I'm gonna crawl up to Ford in the line at some point.
Okay.
Been keeping my eye out, getting a lay of the land, and if Jameti is not quite alive.
I'm sorry, did you say not quite?
It's not quite alive.
Am I still close enough to where I can overhear this?
No.
Just keep that. I don't think it's an appropriate moment to bring something like that up, but it's worth.
Do you detect anything sinister?
Yeah, it's not quite alive. I mean, that's
Right. Yeah, that's inherent. Sure. Right.
Stupid. If anything, I feel like I'm exercising an enormous amount of willpower, just not dealing with. I mean, it just doesn't seem like there's a good advantage to dealing with this now, but yeah, there's something weird there.
Thank you for letting me know. I hope you'll keep an eye on him for us.
Oh, I'll be keeping an eye on him for you. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I would also say, as we're tromping through, that I would push forward and try to catch up with Jameti momentarily.
All right.
Yeah, oh, geez, what is that?
Sorry.
Excuse me. 2 questions for you.
Looks over her shoulder at you.
What's that? How much further? Day's travel, or more than one day, till we reach our destination?
With a full group like this and trying to be as quiet as possible, I give us about maybe 1 day.
1 day.
There will be a night of camping along the way.
And did you encounter any kind of threats?
There are dangerous things in this jungle, but it is easy for me to keep out of sight as one man. This many, well, not as much.
Anything specific that we should be on guard for or prepared for?
There are lizard folk that exist on the outskirts of this island.
You mentioned that, yeah.
They call the rivers streams and the inlets home. Then there are the people of scale and fang. The snake folk that exist further in, near this temple. Variations of their strange physical.
What are you guys doing over there?
Trying to open candy.
How about we hold off?
done.
How about we hold off for a minute? Congratulations.
That's sort of my fault. I apologize.
The people that have built around this temple, there are variations in how they worship the boons of this long gone snake god they worship. It seems to operate on their person in different ways. I've seen some with heads that are full of serpent features, pieces of patches of scales, yellow eyes, as well as some with limbs themselves transformed into snake-like forms. It is the stuff of nightmares.
Like their arms and their legs are just...
You avoided them. You did not tangle with them yourself.
No, that is not the work I do. I'm not a fighter by any means. My job is to not be seen, to infiltrate, recover, and expedite my exit.
Makes sense. And I cast Mage Armor right in front of him on myself. Thank you. See you later. I'm going to go back to my earlier position.
All right. Continuing forward. For the next few hours or so, the heat is getting heavier and heavier as the afternoon sky now greets you. You find yourself stopping to eat and drink water along the way with what supplies you have available to you. You eventually, within the next few hours or so, as it begins to get darker and darker.
I have a question.
Yes.
With my medicine stuff, would I know anything that would help get rid of bugs and stuff that would keep bugs away from you?
It's possible. Make a nature check.
Oh no, a natural one.
You have no clue.
Bugs. How do they work?
Yeah. Not a whole lot of jungle insects in or around Nicodranas,
No.
unfortunately. So nothing catches your attention necessarily. So.
Did you say that it's also darker now?
It
As
is
I
getting
chew on some licorice root?
Yes. It's getting steadily darker as you guys move your way through.
Were there any flowers on our journey?
Were there any what?
Flowers? Did we pass any flowers?
There are a number of jungle flowers that you
Pick
pass.
some as we go.
Sure.
That's
all right.
Crack.
Most of the ones that you come across are like a dull pink in color that fade to a green at the base. It's not a vibrant pink, but just enough of that kind of whitish red crossover to appear. And a lot of them kind of grow along the base of the roots of some of these jungle trees. So you collect a few handfuls of them. Okay. Yes.
I go over to Ford while we're taking a break. Hey, did you find anything out from Avantika? Like about, shit that you guys have in common?
No. I asked her if she shared with her men, her passions and all the details that she knows and all the knowledge. I thought maybe she might, covet that, but it seems like she's quite forthcoming. She's trying to build like a following, like a zealot almost, build believers out of her crew.
Does she believe it though?
Yeah. She's convincing if she's a liar. I think she genuinely wants to summon forth this thing.
But does she believe that she's a zealot, like connected to some
That she's
god?
the chosen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. How are you feeling from last night? It seemed like you had a rough night.
No, fine. Rested. REM sleep is some of the best, so, I feel energized, jazzed, excited to continue on.
All right. Did you ever read any horror stories as a kid, or did you and like your friends tell horror stories? Spooky things?
Ghost stories? Yeah.
You know how there's always like a time where the narrator stops, kind of lets your imagination run wild with what happens?
Yeah.
I just want to say, people might have ideas and thoughts, and I'm trying to look out for you because we said we would have each other's backs. And sometimes the less you say, the more people's minds like to fill in the blanks. And from what I've learned, generally what's in people's heads is worse than the reality of the situation.
Wow. Do you want to tell me what's in people's heads?
Oh. I mean, look, we've seen you do some weird fucked up shit, right?
Admittedly.
So, anytime you're unsure, it's gonna make other people even more unsure with a layer of suspicion. It's like a tiramisu of confusion.
Well, I admit I'm not sure about a lot of this, so no pressure, right?
No pressure.
I will try to fill in as many details as I can.
Let's go fight some snake people.
Totes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While that is going on, I walk over and stand next to Caduceus and say, hey, hello, would you hang out with me for a moment?
Yeah.
Excellent. Let's stand right here. And I casually pull out the wire and I cast message to Not. Not, would you please go? I need you to speak to Avantika and Jameti together for a moment, please.
You need me to speak to Avantika and Jameti?
What are you saying?
Sorry. What?
Talking to yourself?
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Recast. What do you need me to say? You can respond to this message.
Just distract them, please.
Oh.
What did he say?
Got it.
What is it? What did he say?
Okay. I'll get to you when I'm done. Okay. That was Caleb. He wants me to go distract Avantika and Jumanji for a moment. Do you want to come help me?
Okay.
What should we do?
Should we do like a dance? Should we like...
We practiced one.
I mean, we did a really good one before,
Yeah.
so yeah, we could do that for them.
We could try to teach it to them.
Yeah.
Great. Hoi hoi. Hi, Captain Avantika.
And Jameti.
Jameti's a few feet ahead. He's currently leading the path. They're about 20 feet from each other.
Oh, sorry.
I'll get Jameti.
Sure.
Hey, Jameti.
He's amazing. What?
Can you come here for a second? I have something I need to show you.
What is this? Is no
It's
bearing
really
on
important,
this.
though. It's super important.
Make a persuasion check.
22.
What is it?
Come here.
Hi.
I can see the temperature rising.
He begins to walk over in your direction.
Okay, now that we have you two together.
Yes.
Avantika's still like 10 feet from you, but it's like,
Okay,
what do you want?
quietly.
Well, something that... Hi, it's me, Gilligan. Nice to see you again. Something that we used to do on our ship to relieve the tension
and raise morale,
was we had a boat dance.
Yes, and it was specific when we were on really important missions and stuff.
Do you guys have one of those?
Not specific to the dance, no. Or to the boat, at the very least.
Oh, so you have dances though that
But
you
not
do to
boat
raise
dances.
morale? Do you
I
and
do
Jumeti
not-
do one together?
Jameti goes, this is completely inconsequential to me, and I need to keep an eye on the path
Before the
ahead.
moment
really-
passes, I stand behind Caduceus' tall frame and quietly cast Detect Magic.
okay. So, you cast Detect Magic. As your kind of visual aura expands beyond, giving you that faint bits of essence of magic around you, all of your friends that have various magical accoutrements on themselves begin to glow on their persons and around their persons. You can see that Avantika, both blades that are currently sheathed give off a faint aura. That seems to be all that you can notice at the moment.
Even for Jameti.
Jameti, you do not see any.
I need to walk up and learn more about this dance then.
Wait, I'm going to stop you because I see what you're doing. You're probably not going to get anything off him, but he's got an undead vibe that I've been picking up.
Oh. Ja, verstehen. Okay.
I mean, I feel you. It's been making me pretty creeped out, to be honest. But I'm trying to hold together, keep chill, lots of chill. It's hot, but
Still want to see what he's carrying.
you're really gonna let me know what you see, and we'll compare notes later.
What are you two doing over here? You're holding up. We need to move.
Jameti's already moving, by the way. He's ignored both of you and has continued up at the path.
You have to catch up to him.
Showing the dances all.
I'm gonna pass them by.
Okay.
To catch up.
As you catch up, the next thing you see as you turn back is Jameti, hand up behind in your direction. As you all begin to listen, Beauregard, Caleb, and Caduceus, you hear what sounds like the cracking of branches and twigs and the shifting of jungle floor. Watches Jameti kind of like puts like 2 fingers in the air and then.
What does that mean? What does 2 mean?
I creep up to just about 30 feet away.
Not you.
I agree. And walk up.
Okay, so Beauregard and Caleb approach.
Why are you following me? Why are you doing that?
You hear coming from Jameti, and as you look just past this clearing, you notice a troop of 4 figures making their way through the brush. You hear this like very low guttural clicking from one of them. And you can notice these shapes, these figures, and a little bit of the now somewhat fading dusk light. They're muscular and burly and hunched. You see scaled skin, but deeply scaled all over. Not snake-like, but more lizard-like. You see long snouts with rows of sharp teeth and a frill down the back of the neck. You can see what looks to be makeshift bits of leather strapped together to form patches of armor across the torso. Big, heavy shields carved from some sort of a large shell that has multiple rows of spines and hooks down the back of it. And you see clubs and heavy blades that are made of makeshift scavenged metal or weapons that have washed up on shore, been recovered from others that have been unlucky to make their way to this island and never returned.
How many?
4 of them.
Okay,
Each one of them has a spear.
I duck down, I turn to the rest of the group, and I say,
Quickly turn around and throw a wire. Say, there's 4 lizard people over here. And then I'm looking in the distance at them and at Jameti.
Okay, make a perception check.
Before this spell fades.
There's 4 lizard people up there. Oh,
Damn
we
my
should
eyes.
do this quietly.
16.
16. Okay.
I direct the group and I say, you flank this way, and then you guys.
Just let's try it. Let's try it.
Yasha's cupping behind her ear going, what?
Yasha and 4 to the right. We'll go to the left. Okay, let's go.
At this point, you hear a sudden impact. Glancing over, and Caleb, you watch as behind them on the bushes on the opposite side of this small path they are walking through, you see 3 arrows. And you watch as 2 of these lizard folk kind of tumble to the ground to one knee. They turn around, and you watch as 2 people in kind of purplish robes with basic jewelry and leather bands rush forward with looks to be daggers and a scimitar on the other hand, and just kind of slash out and start hacking. These lizards are now being assaulted by these people, and you watch behind them as one burly man with kind of weather dark skin, exposed chest, and these large, billowing, thick arms that look like 2 very long, maybe 5-foot serpents that come protruding out the sides of the shoulders into these 2 separate snake heads filled with eyes and teeth, kind of rush forward and slam, biting into the throat of one of the lizard men. And he goes, and gets pulled to the ground.
Snakes! His arms
are snakes.
Yes.
The 2 other people that you see one male, one female, both look human, but in the middle of this chaos, you can see their eyes are bright yellow with the serpentine snake eye slit in the center. And now the lizard men are pulling up their shields. One of them has been carved down on the ground, and the one with the big hand is like pulled the throat close to the point where it's just slowly dying on the floor. They have completely gone into this combat between the 2 of them.
Roughly how far away is that fray?
It's about 60 or 70 feet. They haven't noticed any of you here, and you are currently completely in shadows.
I don't
What do you do?
Yeah, and also, do I see anything glowing on Jameti?
No.
Okay.
Do you see anything glowing on any of the snake people up?
Too far away, I think.
Too far
We're
away.
ducking.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're staying put.
Watching.
Yeah.
So it's snakes versus
Voyeur
lizards, right?
This is the ultimate Godzilla movie.
Like these arms are 5 feet, like these big ass.
Yeah, like about a foot wide, and they just kind of spiral upward, and then they're like snapping with giant fangs that protrude and snap on each. His face is just intense and grinning. This is a hunting party. And you watch as one of the lizardmen grabs a spear and jams into the abdomen of the man with the snake arms, looks back and hisses at him angrily, manages to pull the spear free with one of the snake hands, and then leaps over, kind of pole vaulting off the ground, the other snake head coming down and snapping into the shoulder and chest area of the snake man, and then throwing up into the air. And you hear, as he goes flying, spinning up into the boughs, lands on the ground, and he stands back up, grabs his shield, and you can see him like woozy, and there's this kind of black color where the impact of the wound was, and you see the veins growing dark, and it kind of stumbles and falls onto its knees, and then falls to the ground.
People got venomous bite.
Venomous bites.
You ever seen an anaconda mouth? There are lots of teeth there. It's real bad.
Venomous bites.
One by one, you watch as each of the lizardmen are felled from the ambush. And
three of the other party.
Yes, 2 of which look to be comparably smaller creatures, but they just weren't prepared. And while the 3 snake men hunting party appear to have sustained a few blows and injuries, they were successful.
And the other 2 only had eyes that seemed
correct.
Off. Okay.
And as you're inspecting, you'd see like patches of skin like across their shoulders. And like the upper part of the chest, you can see what looks to be scales that kind of appear and then vanish. And with the battle done, the quiet hits, and you watch as they begin to walk off to a small patch where it looks like they had dropped some sort of a satchel. And they start pulling out rope, and they start tying the legs together of these lizard men until they have 2 of them tied on one side and the other 2 tied ankle to ankle on the other. The one with the 2 snake arms picks up both and begins dragging them behind them in the jungle, while the other 2 flank and kind of look out into the grasses below and begin making their way deeper towards the path where they came away from you. Their hunt successful, they're bringing their meal back with them.
How, the path that they took away, does it line up or deviate from the general direction that we have been heading in?
The direction you've been traveling has been a little zigzaggy because it's been following Jamedi's path and the marking he's making, so you're not entirely certain. It seems it could be parallel to the path you're going, but since you don't know the final destination, you're not entirely certain if it'll line up with it or not.
Okay.
Jamedi.
His hand's like still up and he's just watching carefully. Shh. What?
Are we following them or are we going a different way?
We are not to get anywhere near these creatures.
Good. They eat lizard people.
So I have noticed.
Did you see his arms?
I did. It was quite frightening.
Oh my god. Imagine if it was his legs. How would he even walk?
It is a very good question. One that will keep me up late at night.
You're not sure if he's joking. And do you guys do anything else? You just let them pass and continue on?
We're gonna let them go.
Okay.
Did they leave anything on the ground? Did they leave anything? Did they drop anything?
Make an investigation check.
Like the canopy of trees above, right? There's no sort of...
It's a thick jungle canopy. Okay. It breaks in places, but...
That was the greatest plan we've ever had. We flanked.
And then we didn't
The battle was just over.
Yeah. We didn't punch our way through shit.
It's a new day.
Oh my god.
Amongst the ground where the battle took place, you can see there are mashed plants and streaks of thick lizardman blood, a few broken teeth that are scattered in the sand there, but nothing beyond that of value. Okay, so you get 3 lizardman teeth.
Okay, I turn around and I say, do we have anything that resists poison or venom?
I have a spell that I learned that I took this morning that will cure poison, but I don't have anything that protects from poison today.
Caduceus, you raised your
Yeah,
hand.
I've got both, but it's best applied when needed, really. There's only so much to go around.
I feel like with these people, maybe we should have a frontline party and a backline party. And maybe a little frontline poison resistance could be good.
So put our 2 clerics in front?
No. No. I don't mind going in front, mainly because I have no fucking range.
Do we have to keep whispering? Can we pretend we're still whispering, but let's not actually whisper?
Yeah.
Can we do that?
It's up to you.
No, but if we give the we're stage whispering.
There you
This
go.
is my whisper voice.
My normal voice.
Just saying, these guys clearly have reach, and I don't think we want to have all of us tangle with him.
Be in front.
Yeah, you make a good point.
What if we are in
Who
the
would you
middle
want
because
with
we're so healy?
That's fair. We'll be in the middle just
I'm
in case
super
things
healy.
go wrong.
You're so healy.
Yeah.
I'm pretty healy.
I'm not gonna volunteer or speak for anybody, but I just know I'm better when I'm up and close.
I'll join you. Anybody else? Everybody else should stay at least like 20, 25 feet
Could you
back.
What
give
if they
the
come
both
from
of us
behind?
resistance?
If we get into an altercation, I'll pop both of you
We
as
should
quickly
have
as
somebody keeping an eye behind. Did you notice the snake people came up behind the lizard people?
Yasha should stay with the healers for sure.
Yasha
In
can look
fact.
behind.
Yeah.
Yasha!
God.
Behind!
I have been.
The whole time.
Yeah.
So you made Jamedi
Okay.
and Avantika in the front.
Avantika's in the front with you.
Is that all right?
Whatever.
This heat is a bitch.
I have been spending this entire
Dehydrated?
debate looking north and remembering everything that I saw on the way here from the boat and just calculating an exit strategy as I remember the things that I saw on the way here.
Okay, good to know. All right. Now that enough time has passed and Jamedi feels comfortable, he puts his hand out and goes, all right, we press forward. Follow me. I fear we'll have to make camp soon. There is look to be a ruin up front that might give us some cover. Continuing on.
Yes.
Jumeti, what if it was his dick that was the snake, though?
I was wondering how long it's going to take to get there.
Really
He
wondering.
keeps his eyes trained forward, but goes like, I imagine it would be difficult to relieve oneself.
Probably.
Or masturbate.
He turns around and goes, shh. It is a valid point, but I need you to be quiet, please.
I couldn't resist. I'm sorry.
Continuing on, the sun sets, and the sky goes through its cycle of oranges to pinks to purples to blues. And you haven't quite reached this aforementioned ruin before night falls.
No.
Now the evening insects begin to grow louder and louder, the nocturnal creatures beginning to let out their nocturnal calls, and the perpetual din of the various clicks and cricket noises and other various flapping insects mating calls into the night become this kind of constant droning sound around you. While the insect bites have subsided, this sound itself is uncomfortable, and for those of you who are used to more comfortable sleep, you begin to dread the possibility of finding a night's rest in this.
Caleb, if you do the bubble thing, can the insects come in the bubble? Can you make it?
Well, but Jester, doesn't it glow?
No, it takes on, I'm able to affect its color. I can have it match. I mean, it still looks like a very smooth bauble that is 8 feet tall, but maybe not that big, but it can match the general color of the...
Just be dark and not attract any other attention.
Yeah, it does not glow.
Okay, do it, please.
Hey guys. Yeah. This is great.
Okay, I spend the next 11 minutes, I pull out the book, unholster it, and start doing a ritual cast here.
Ritual cast of.
Leomund's tiny hut. Is this where we want to do it, Chester?
Yeah, is this where we're camping here, though? Yes?
Jiminy says, perhaps we wait until we get to the ruin, just so we have some sort of cover beyond the trees.
Okay.
Okay, just a little longer then. Sure.
Okay.
Who's keeping watch in this first bit of night travel?
Yep.
I'll take one.
All right, go ahead and roll perception, as will Jiminy.
5.
Okay.
21.
21. Okay.
I'm using the occasional low level light cantrip just to away from us as far away as possible. Just popping every now and then. You know,
Okay.
Just if I think I see something.
Okay. Following this little chain of lights that kind of pop and glow as it goes, eventually you come upon what looks to be the first signs of stone rubble. some sort of structure was built here long ago and since fallen over, and elements of its masonry either moved or reclaimed for other structures elsewhere on the island. But you can see the basis of walls and joining positions where you could see elements of this previous building were used to maintain and hold the ceiling that has since fallen in. There's a series of walked paths that kind of carve through the various ferns and heavy bush. But you do find the back of one of these walls where Jamedi says,
This is where I had slept previously. Perhaps this is the best place to rest.
So he begins to set up a small tent, arranging against the wall. What do you guys do?
Do we want it just to be us? They have the tent.
Is that rude?
A little bit.
Yeah,
But
but
They
remember
bring
that
tents for us.
you can hear through the bubble. Remember still though.
yeah.
Okay. So we can't talk bad about them though.
I think maybe we invite them in and
But like,
just keep
do you want
one
to
of
stay
us
with
keeps up.
us? But like, do it like this.
Do you want to ask them with that stink face?
Yeah.
Okay.
Captain Avantika and Jamedi, did you want to stay with us in the bubble?
There's no facilities or anything.
I mean, it's kind of stinky in there, but if
Jamedi
you
goes,
want to,
I am unfamiliar with what this bubble is you speak of.
it's whatever. It's a little bubble.
It's like a tent.
It's like a tent, basically.
I am okay.
Okay.
And he heads back to continuing to arrange his tent. Avantika kind of tilts ahead and goes, I assume this is some sort of protective measure for your night's rest, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Then I would be delighted to join you.
I mean, you don't feel like you're like, obligated.
Believe me, it is my honor.
All right.
Great, cool.
Sheathes the rapier, but keeps the dagger drawn and turned around in her hand, so it's kind of face down, and just kind of looks over her shoulder both ways out towards the darkness. So, how spacious is this? As you finish the spell, the strange colored orb appears there, aside from the on the side of the room.
Are the surroundings here are what? We're behind a little bit of stone ruins, or still?
Yeah, there's like a couple of small stone elements there.
Oh. Then it's gray, the same color as the stone.
Okay.
I have control of the color.
All right.
Also, out of curiosity, I'm a transmutation wizard, so do I have a sense of how old the stone surrounding us is?
The stone here. Make an intelligence check.
Ugh. Bad roll. 12.
You don't have specific information on it. It's quite old. It's probably, it might be older than this age. It might have existed pre-Calamity, or at least somewhere in that neighborhood. But you're not entirely certain.
Caleb, you want to take a Mr. Caleb, want to take a walk maybe really quickly around this this thing? Get a gander at it.
The thing is, if I exit this bubble now, then it goes away.
Oh, well, and I'll just report back.
I mean, I could do it again.
No, that's okay. Just better safe than sorry. I'll just let you know what I see.
Do you want company, or do you need anyone with you?
I'd love company, actually, just in case.
Okay. Bow.
No.
Not.
What?
Keep an eye on them, okay?
On
Let
who?
me know what happens. Shut up.
On who?
I mean,
On who? On our friends?
yeah. Just forget it. Let's go.
I want to take a look around this thing, and I also want to cast another Detect Undead while we're walking.
You're gonna look around what?
I'm going to take a walk around this little ruin.
Okay.
See, I'm going to have a little light spell up. See if I can see any, just kind of to see if there's any writing on anything, any carvings. I'm going to have Eyes of the Grave up again. I'm just going to be looking for any undead.
Okay. And your company?
Watching his back.
Yeah.
All right. So the rest of you are staying within the sphere. Gray color, dimly lit on the interior. It can be whatever light source you want at this point. Okay. So the two of you kind of wander around the ruin. Go and make an investigation check if you don't mind.
Can I help? Do you get that? I mean,
You roll 2, maybe.
no. Okay.
Don't lay that on me.
Confidence.
No.
12.
1.
Fuck.
I'm not very observant today, okay? I've got things on my mind.
Okay. As you kind of walk through and pour over the ruins, the structure is fairly simple. This wasn't some beautifully made stone hall. Most of the stones here were probably pulled from rivers or were smoothed over, and they're varying sizes, and the masonry is very simple.
Couldn't figure out what it's a temple to or any.
Not in particular. You don't even know if it's a temple. It could have been an abode. It doesn't appear to be huge. That looks like maybe like one or two adjacent rooms that were set in that space.
And nothing from the Detect Undead.
Nothing from the Detect Undead, no.
Other than what I already expect to see.
No.
And what I expect to see is still giving off a little glow, right?
Correct.
Okay.
What's the range on
that? 60 feet. Although I will say, if it's there are divination magic would blind me to that, and if it was like full cover, I would possibly not see it as well.
Right. Understood. Caduceus, what's your armor class?
17.
17. Okay. As you're looking over the stonework and kind of turning to Jester to mention you didn't see much.
The funny thing is,
there is a shape that moves out of the shadows with incredible speed. You watch as the light, the faint color being emanated from Caduceus' cantrip is immediately falls away, and you see the streak of his hair disappear in a nearby shadow. I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Like he's gone? He's just gone in front of me?
You just watched him. You just watched him be pushed off into a nearby bush.
Just football tackled.
Yeah.
Just gone. Okay.
10.
Oh,
That's a fail.
Yeah, what?
Good.
So you get pushed off, land on the ground, you tumble, and are held prone on the ground. As with a little bit of light you can see, not having dark vision, unfortunately, what you see is a faint glimmer of two large white fangs. What looks to be a smattering of whiskers right before you. This growl sound, and what appears to be a cluster of snake heads that kind of bend around each side of the head. So
I just beat a little.
that is it's the. All right, so the bite attack hits you, and that is going to be only 5 points of piercing damage. Actually, and it's advantage on the second one. Okay, but the advantage does it. And the other one, the snakes all snap onto you. Multiple snake bites, it's all like biting across your face and your throat. For that, you suffer 8 points of piercing damage, and you need to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Save.
Mr. Clay.
I mean, come on.
Oh no, don't make that sound, Matthew.
Yeah, ooze or
I need to make a Constitution saving throw?
Mm-hmm.
Got this, Mr. Clay.
Come on, Snitch.
15.
15, that's a success. You take half damage, so you take only 12 points of poison damage.
Oh my god.
Bad.
But he's not poisoned.
Correct. Jester, you see the shape, and you glance over, and you can see, with your dark vision, this maybe 10-foot long leopard-like cat that is currently now pressed onto the chest and body of Caduceus. You watch as it bites down towards him, and all these strange protrusions from around the shoulders and head area all strike down as a few of them kind of curl back to look at you. And in that bit, you can see a few beats of light, kind of faint bits of starlight and moonlight are coming down, reflecting in the eyes of these snakeheads. And you hear this up behind you on the ruin where you were just standing. I'll be right back.
Clever girl.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
How far away are you guys?
D&D Beyond.
I don't know if we're very far. I don't think we're very far away.
They went to do a perimeter sweep.
Yeah.
Look up these beasts.
Find out about these beasts on D&D Beyond.
Oh, yes!
Oh.
All right, we're not far.
That means
Add
there's
them as a
probably
familiar.
more than 2. Oh.
Alrighty.
Look at these
This
palm
is really
trees.
cool though.
So, Caduceus, you are over here. Jester, you are over
Landscaping.
here.
Matthew.
Is this from the Hawaii?
Oh. Yeah.
Green lights.
Now the rest of you are over, so Jametti's over here over this tent. The rest of you are all clustered inside
The hut.
the hut.
25th.
Caduceus.
Oh god,
at that
it's so
thing.
scary. It's a leopard with snake heads.
It's a leopard with snakes.
Why would you make that? That's just someone who's drunk at night and is like, let's just.
Both of
You're
those
so
things by
high.
themselves
You're
are
clearly
terrible.
high.
I need everyone to roll initiative.
Oh god, oh god. Come on, you guys. Come on, player. Nope.
So technically, you guys don't hear anything, so we'll see when it comes around to your turn.
Wait, what? What do you mean?
What?
We don't hear anything.
We do in the bubble.
You said we
there's
heard
sound.
through the bubble.
Nope.
Yeah, but they're bringing
Yeah,
silence.
You
Maybe
hear
sound.
sounds, but there's been no sound.
Silently watching.
You guys have been setting yourselves up for the evening there. The only person that would have probably noticed would have been Caduceus.
And he's getting fucked up right now.
The good news is we're totally safe in this bubble and nothing can happen to us.
And both
Sorry.
Both are healers. Typical.
So, 25 to 20.
Wow, cool.
Nobody.
Oh, someone roll for Yasha.
Oh, people got that?
7 plus. I gotta get her sheet.
Yes,
Yasha
you do.
points.
I think it's 9.
I need a Turkish delight
Alrighty.
before I die.
25 to 20? Nobody? 20?
Oh yeah, got it.
Let
20,
it fuel
20 to
you.
15.
18.
All right,
Okay.
so we have
Bow. Caduceus.
No,
17.
stop! Look at all the powder.
Bow
We're gonna
cat.
eat that whole box.
Yeah.
15 to 10.
15, 10.
13.
Jesse.
Already? 10 to 5.
Yasha has 9, I have 8.
Not sitting at 7.
Oh my.
So wait, Yasha.
Oh, I'm at 8 actually. 8.
Forward and not in the same
Yeah,
initiative.
9.
All right, Caleb.
Yeah.
What?
4.
4.
Huh?
Speaking that other shit.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so Bo, you're up first, but you have not noticed anything, so your turn is spent fluffing your space to sleep for the evening.
So, you know what, Ford, I kind of think Jester's a little jealous. I'm just throwing it out there.
Jealous. Jealous of what?
Are you fucking serious right now?
6 seconds done.
Caduceus.
I'm going to yell for help, and then I'm going to
You all immediately hear.
help, and then I'm going to tap my staff to wake up my beetles
Alrighty.
as my bonus action, and my beetles are going to make a bite attack on that.
All right.
So that's I actually have that information now thanks to the update. So
D&D Beyond?
on D&D Beyond. So that's a swarm attack. They have a bite, so that's +3 to hit, I believe. Or and so that's 13.
13 does not hit.
Okay, that's okay. Well, they're in the space right now. And then I'm panicking, so this is going to be fun. I'm going to start making a weird, awful sound, and I'm going to start getting even paler and a little gaunter, and I'm going to grab it, and I'm going to cast. I'm so panicked. Vampiric Touch.
Okay, I like it.
So,
Get some of that shit
yeah.
back.
So I'm just, since I'm in contact
It's a
with
melee
it,
spell attack.
melee spell attack.
So go ahead and roll for attack.
My melee spell attack.
Good.
What is a melee attack here?
So D20 plus your spell attack modifier.
plus 8.
Okay, +8.
Yep.
So, 20.
20 hits. Go ahead and roll damage for the vampiric touch.
Oh man, this is mean. I'm so
Give it.
sorry.
Take it away.
I'm having a little sorry.
And they're next, and then Jester, you're up.
Okay.
That's 3d6. That's 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 10 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
10 points of necrotic,
10
and
points.
I regain 5 hit points.
Attaboy. Attaboy.
Alrighty. So as you reach up, your hand grasps it in his throat, and you watch as this strange hissing sound happens as you pull life force energy out of it. This kind of strange threads of purplish black energy that pull into your body, your wounds healing up slightly.
So I
as
can
it
see that, huh?
You can see a faint bit of that energy coming out of Caduceus.
Help! Yeah.
Is that your turn?
That is. I can't unless I can try and move away, but I'm.
Well, you're prone, so it's half movement to try and crawl away, or you could spend half your movement to get up, and then you still have half your movement to try and escape if you want.
I'm going to try and have my movement to get up.
Alrighty, so you get up from prone.
That's good. I thought it was like on top of you.
And I'm going to back up against you.
To here.
Will you get an attack of opportunity?
Technically it's there, so...
Will you get an attack of opportunity?
You can go right there and knock an attack.
Okay, perfect. That way I can... Okay. Yeah. You get poisoned, I can unpoison you.
All right.
If you get poisoned, I can unpoison you.
Cool. That finishes Gooses' turn. It's now their turn. So the one up top who's hissing down at you, kind of... As its jaw opens, this kind of semi-translucent rolling cloud of dust and gas kind of emanates in a 30-foot cone. Both of you guys.
Both clerics. Why did both clerics go on a hunting mission?
You guys did it.
God, we're so dumb.
I need you both to make Constitution saving throws, please.
Okay.
Picking your dice.
We're like
Something else.
it's like Avatar in the fucking
20.
20. You managed to resist the effect.
9.
Jester, you inhale it, suddenly caught off guard by it, and you find your eyes blink and go dark as you fall unconscious.
God.
She's unconscious?
Yep.
Wait, like unconscious
Like
or
as if
asleep?
unconscious or asleep?
Like unconscious. Like not 0 hit points, but like asleep.
Oh, okay.
Like hardcore.
Yes. All right.
shit.
And it is going to move, jump down from here, and begin to move this way to kind of slink you, Caduceus. This one here, now flanking you, is going to attempt to strike at you twice. Let's see. Good to know. I forgot about that bit. All right, so it bites this one's claw. It's going to be with advantage because okay, that is going to make it an 18 to hit.
Why is advantage?
Because they're flanking you.
Oh, god damn it. Yeah, that hits.
All right, so the bite attack, you take 6 points of piercing damage, and the snakes snap at you. That is going to be 19. So
That also hits.
All right, so you take another. Ooh, that's 10 points of piercing damage. At this point,
16 points of damage.
As you're between the two of them, the one behind you that had just put Jester to sleep, all of its snakes snap around you, the back of your head and your neck and your shoulders, and you feel the poison through your veins. Roll another Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh my god.
To the clerics, and I don't know, on a solo mission.
So stupid.
12.
What not?
12? 12 just... No, 12 succeeds.
Yay!
All right.
How do you get spray and the snakes in the same? That's just so much.
How many points?
Help!
Hold on, 20...
We'll find out.
I'm
You have
standing.
to get half damage on this.
Half that is going to be 13 points of poison
I'm
damage.
kind of still standing.
He's like slumped.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
They're done.
That animation.
Jester,
Huh?
you are unconscious,
Dream
and you are
about the
asleep.
traveler.
That brings us to Avantika and Jamedi.
Dreaming that me and the traveler are
immediately
skipping
stands
over
up.
hills and picking flowers.
What the shit is that? Pulls out the rapier and the dagger, and then darts kind of leaping over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just seeing these creatures, rushes forward, and leaping forward with her rapier and blade. It's going to go ahead and make 3 attacks. The gray's going to be with the dagger. 1 rapier shot misses, then 1 for the rapier, 1 for the dagger hit. So for the dagger, that is.
Oh, for a nighttime stroll.
We are in total danger zone and we're taking strolls.
7 points of damage.
It was perceptive.
Oh, nice.
It's my own fault. I was suspicious.
Another 10 points of damage on that.
What? On both? Wow.
It was a 7 and a 10.
Right.
And then Avantika seems to be like holding both blades ready, preparing to defend herself. Jamedi, who kind of stumbles out of his tent, is only half movement, glances over and can barely see what's there. He's kind of on the outside of the dome, pulls out his short bow and is going to go ahead and attempt to shoot it with an arrow, and misses with a 4, natural 4. There's no light source here. It just seems to just disappear in the distance. That finishes his turn. That brings us to Yasha.
Yeah, Yasha will use her full movement to follow Avantika out of the bubble. The bubble.
4, 5, 6, 7.
Can she flank it?
She can get to about there.
Is that within melee?
That is within melee, yes.
Great. She'll take a swipe. That is a 17.
17 will hit.
Great. So that's 2d6, right?
2d6 plus an additional d6.
Did she rage?
No, she didn't. Because I. Yep.
Doesn't make barbarians.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. So it's just 2d6 because you weren't raging.
6 points of damage.
All right. You added the 3 points for strength, right?
No. 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage. You got it. All right. Second attack.
It's real fun playing a character when you don't have their sheets.
Yeah. That's 16.
16. That hits. Good roll damage. 2d6 plus 3.
6.
Plus 4 technically.
Plus 4, so 6, so 10. 10 points of damage.
Got it.
And with her bonus action, she would like to rage.
Hey!
There you go.
It's been a hot minute.
All right, that finishes up the Yasha's turn. 4 to 0. You guys are up.
I heard Mr. Clay! Let's go! I'll scramble out, going into the direction that I heard the sound and seeing all these folks over here.
Okay, so you leave the thing. You can see everyone right there.
Do I see the beast?
You do. You see that one beast right there.
I will kneel down and pew, shoot it.
Go for it.
In its hindquarters. That's a miss. 12.
12 does not hit.
Reload. Fire again. Wait, do I want to do this? Nope. I'll keep moving and hide behind that wall.
Right here?
Yeah.
Alrighty. So
Bonus action hide.
Roll a stealth check.
Okay. That's a 28.
Don't you get advantage because of your coat?
Sure.
You get a 20.
All right,
Still
so
20.
you are stealth there. All right, that finishes Notsko. Ford, what are you doing?
Can I use my 30 feet of movement to run that direction around the far side of the ruin? Yep.
You come around the edge and you look, you turn and you see right there in front of you another one of these leopard-like creatures. You're like, oh shit! You didn't even notice there was a second one there.
Oh shit! And I'll just fire both streams of Eldritch Blast from each hand.
Go for it.
13.
13 misses, unfortunately.
So second one. That'll hit. 23.
That'll work.
Excellent. Yeah. Nice. That's 11 points of Eldritch Blast.
She blasts and almost like forcing it off of its feet for a second, catches itself.
Nice. Great. That's it.
All the stakes kind of turn to look at you for a second. That finishes Ford's go. Caleb, you're up.
I drop the hut. It's gone.
All right.
And seeing what I see, there was I've got the transmuter stone I can see in dim light, so I'm feeling into my satchel and I take out some molasses and smear it on my hands and cast slow on. I probably have to. I'll come as far as I can over here behind Yasha to see what I can see.
Over here, you mean?
I will go. Come this way, not getting closer to them.
5.
Yeah, that's fine. That's good. And cast slow on the two creatures that I see.
Ooh. Alrighty.
DC 16.
Good choice. Yeah. All right. DC 16. That is a wisdom.
Yeah.
All right. That is success 16 on the first roll. That's that one there.
Yeah.
The other one, natural 17 plus 2. They both succeed. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No apologies.
Good rolls.
There's good rolls on their part. Does that finish your turn, Caleb?
If I have any movement left, I will back away from that shit.
You will have from that to you. You have maybe 5 feet. Let me say right here. So you can start backing away. All right. Back at the top of the round, Bo, you're up. The orb has vanished. Everyone's rushed out. You look over and you can hear these growls and snarls and impacts. Combat is happening. What are you doing?
On my pillow, ah! And then I just run and I say, "Not Duke!" And I jump over Not, and I'm going for this one in the back.
All right, roll.
45 speed.
Over this way, you mean?
Yeah, that one in the back.
Oh, the one that I've been shooting at, or the one closest?
The one that Ford's been shooting at.
All right, go ahead and first off roll an acrobatics check just to make it over the wall.
Yeah, 25.
Yeah, you're fine. It says 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35.
I'm gonna come down, big Iron Man 3-point landing punch to its face.
Go for it.
Wow, cool story. Bro, 12?
12 misses, unfortunately.
I crack my knuckles on a rock and I'm like, ah, ah, and I roundhouse kick it with my second attack.
Go for it.
That's better. That's a 22.
22 hits. Go and roll damage.
Wow. Wow, that's super great. 5 points.
5 points of damage with your second
One.
strike.
And then I'm gonna go ahead and I hit it, so
Yeah.
I can do stunning. No, I need to hit it twice for stunning strike, right?
No, you should hit it once.
Just in once. Gonna stun it.
Yeah. All right. Constitution
stun
saving
it?
throw. That is a natural 1.
Yay!
So as you missed the first strike, but as you roundhouse kick, you managed to kick right up in its abdomen. You feel ribs break and buckle under the impact of the kick, and some sort of chain reaction spirals across its nervous system as it kind of falls to its side. It is stunned until the end of your next turn.
I'm gonna do spend another key point and do flurry of blows for my bonus action,
Yes, you can do that. Yes.
and do pop pop 2 more.
Go for it.
punches.
You have advantage on these, I believe.
Okay, first
Yep.
attack. I'll take that natural 17, which I'm pretty sure hits, for 9 damage. And then second attack is a natural 20.
Oof, nice.
Thank you, Gil.
Get it.
2 dice. That's double 6s. That's double 6s. That's 12 plus 4.
Oh, shit.
Oh, wait. No, wait. I double my die roll. No, wait. I only roll once.
Well, it would have been
But
fine.
it would have been
It's
fine. It
same
would have been the
other way.
same.
So 16
Yeah.
points of damage?
Sorry. 16 points of damage plus 4, so 20 points of damage. Wait.
Well, no, 16 points
60
of
points of damage. Math.
So, so after it's stunned, you get up and just wail on it. Wah! The second hit, managing to plunge right towards where its kidney is, and you don't feel any sort of muscular resistance as your fist kind of sinks about an inch or 2 into its body. You pull back. Doesn't break the skin, but you can feel like you hurt some meaty
Is it-
organs on the inside. All right, does that finish your turn, Bo?
Yes,
All right, Caduceus.
So there's a stunned one behind me, and there's a stunned one on one side of me, and a not stunned one on the other.
Correct.
I'm gonna hit the stunned one with the vampiric touch.
Hit?
Go for it.
I'm gonna punch.
You have advantage on it.
1 hit point.
I'm at 4.
He's getting vampiric touch. That means
Yeah.
it's healed if it lands.
It lasts. That's 17.
17, yeah, that hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
That was close. 7 points of damage. So I get 3 back.
You heal 3 back.
Okay, so I'm now at 7 hit
Oh,
points.
see, you're fine.
And now I'm going to vanish. I'm going to disappear.
Okay.
That's
So you turn invisible
I'm going to turn invisible.
until the beginning of your next turn.
Yeah.
Or end of your next turn.
And I'm going to circle around and back off.
Circle around here.
Yeah, and then move towards, and then just take a couple step back, see if anything happens.
It hears you moving and swipes out. It has disadvantage on the strike.
Oh boy. Here we go.
So the snakes swing out towards you. That is going to be a 14 to hit.
That misses.
Yep. You just dodge of the way. The snakes all kind of snap out in the middle of the air.
I'm gonna
approaches.
even get a little further out, just to.
Caduceus is up invisible.
Yeah, you can get.
I want. Yeah, I'm not gonna go off the
There,
board or
as far
anything.
as you can.
That's fine.
Okay. That ends your go. It's now their turn. So,
You're gonna be fine, Jesse.
Yeah, totally.
You're asleep.
okay.
Yeah.
The other one that currently kind of seeing all these individuals cluster in the area begins to back up, and as he watches its torso swells and its lower jaw opens and the other one now releases a similar burbling cloud right there.
Oh no!
And that's gonna, so I need, Avantica's gonna have to make a Constitution saving throw. Fails. Avantica falls
Is this a
asleep.
spray or a cloud?
Oh
It is a
god.
cloud.
Oh, so it goes around walls.
Yep. I need you to make a Constitution save not.
Me too, right?
Was I in that? Or no?
21.
You are.
I'm okay.
Okay, you're fine. So, go ahead
17.
and make it.
13.
13, you succeed.
17.
You succeed. So yeah, it's just,
Does Jester fall
What about
double
Yasha?
asleep?
Did Yasha roll?
Yasha was just out of the range
Okay.
of it, actually. So with that, it's going to go ahead and attempt to run off this way and dart. Yasha gets 1 strike on it to see if she can sentinel.
She'll make it reckless.
Jester?
Can't make a reckless on your turn.
I was
That's
already
right.
asleep.
Not already.
Oh, it's a sleep guy.
Yeah, that's a 24.
That'll hit.
She's raging, so 3d6.
Orthopedic.
I started.
Nice. 11. 14.
14. Alrighty.
6-5.
Nice. As she strikes wide with the blade, you watch the creature kind of... It's limping a little bit, and it's trying to back away. It's unable to move from where it is. Its speed is reduced to 0, so it turns to now look on the two unconscious figures in the ground. That one is stunned, so it can't do anything. Jester, you're up.
And asleep.
You're asleep.
I dream.
Avantika can't do anything. She's asleep. Jamedi's going to go ahead and move here next to the trees for cover, and he's going to reload his short bow and take a shot at that. Natural 20 for Jamedi.
Get it, Jamedi!
There you
that
go.
undead shit.
All right, so that's 8 damage with the short bow.
Sweaty.
Knees weak.
Mom's Jamedi.
Well done.
Yes.
Well done. That's fantastic. That's going to end his turn. That brings us to Yasha.
No, you just roll your eyes at us at this point. That makes me so happy.
No, Mom Shemedi's pretty great.
She'll run up and take her 2 swipes. Reckless.
She's going to move?
Yes.
All right.
Reckless,
There
great
you go.
weapon master.
Yeah, you know.
Is she that? Is she? I'm afraid to know.
She's not great weapon master.
That's a natural 20. Dope.
So roll 3d6 and then double that.
3, 4. 7, 14.
All right, 14 plus 6, I believe.
Yeah, so
20 points of damage. Yeah. How does Yasha want to do this?
yeah, she'll see it sitting there, and she'll reach up high, and she'll just try and cleave off the front of the jaguar's head in one downward strike.
You watch as the body attempts to leap, and the head just kind of stumbles underneath some of the snake heads, and the momentum carries it, but it runs straight into the base of the tree, crossing the way before on the ground. The head kind of still going, coming to rest on the ground.
She has one more.
And then she knee slides.
She has one more attack. Can she use the rest of her movement to move towards the jaguar? I think she used 10 feet of her.
She could, yeah. She has rest of her movement.
Oh, good knee slide.
Move up.
Is that melee or just outside of it?
Yeah, that's melee.
Oh, great. Reckless as well. 17, 21.
21, that hits.
Yes.
3, 9. Yeah, 14 points of damage.
Nice.
Plus 3, right? Or no? No, it's not.
Well, so the 3d6 only happens in the first attack, so it's only 2d6 for the second.
Oh, thank you. So let's back it down to 9.
9. Okay, got it.
Plus 4.
Plus 6.
Yeah.
So 14. Got it. Okay. That finishes Yasha's go. Ford and Not, you guys are up.
I'll climb up over the wall and take a shot at the one remaining leopard.
Leopard.
Pew pew.
Pew pew.
21.
21 hits.
Yeah.
You have advantage on that shot because it is stunned.
Advantage.
Yes.
Well, that's a weird roll. I'm gonna do that again. It's still like 21.
Yeah. So, sneak attack on that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, terrible.
No, I spit on you with that.
That's okay. 15.
15 points of damage to it. Struck that the blow hits and sinks in. The creature's looking hurt, but it's still standing, though it is stunned.
Damn. All right, I'll reload and shoot again.
All right. With advantage, because it's still stunned.
Great. 26.
26 will do, yeah.
And then this is not a sneaky attacky, right?
Correct, you only get once per round.
Much better. 11. And I'll use Fury of the Small to make it 16.
Alrighty.
Kill it.
It's looking real. It's real hurt.
God gets it.
Maybe.
Get it forward.
Well, here, Ford, dude, what are you doing?
Oh, maybe don't kill it. We can interrogate it.
Because you guys are going at the same time, you guys can figure out.
Yeah, I'll take
simultaneous.
just enough of a step back to use Eldritch Blast again. I'll fire both of them.
Go for it, 2 strikes on it.
Eldritch Blast, plus 8 is 14.
14 just hits.
Okay, and the second one.
These are with advantage because it's done, don't forget.
Oh shit, all right, better. Okay. The first one was better. 14 as well on the second one.
Yeah, both hit.
Okay, great. One, 2. Okay, yeah, so 6 and 13. So 19 points.
19 points of damage. How do you not want to do this?
What did you use?
What did you do?
I shot it with the thing.
I'll light it up with this crackling green eldritch blast energy coming from both of my palms, causing its fur to smoke and burn off, and its snake heads to repel.
Oh my god, that's so visceral and amazing. I'll shoot it in the nose.
You watch as its torso like just erupts in green flame and energy. Just the body slinks to the ground in smoldering cinder as its head kind of.
Just the button on the scene. I'll look over it now.
You guys all kind of take a moment, make a perception check if you'd like in the jungle around you.
Oh.
Wait, who? All of us?
All of us. 6.
Oh, Jester's asleep.
3.
Hey. Hey. Hey.
13.
13. Okay.
I'm
10.
But keep hitting me.
Hey. Vaughn.
So,
She needs
so
to
you
pass them out.
can use an action to wake him.
Oh.
Oh.
And Jester, you come to consciousness and you're kind of like half curled on Avantika, who's half curled on you since you guys passed out right next to each other.
Caleb is going to quick walk over to Avantika, kneel down and say, "Are you all right? Are you all right?" With his back to Spaghetti and cast Identify on one of the swords.
Okay. Make a deception check.
Okay. My back is to him.
I know.
Okay.
It's still there's still motions involved.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
It was almost a 1, but it wasn't. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's 19.
Ooh.
Okay. So as you bend down and kind of focus on the blade, the which one, the dagger or the rapier?
Rapier.
The rapier is a +1 rapier.
Okay.
Nothing too crazy or special, but it is
on the
a.
dagger.
Pat the cheeks.
Okay. Kind of comes to. Kind of pushes you away for a second and pulls the blade and puts her back up to the wall. Has both blades out. It's kind of coming to consciousness, but instinctually is defensive.
We're good. We're good.
I'm gonna gather in and keep an eye out before I come back into visual. I'm about to become visible again.
Did we win?
We won.
I don't know that we did. There were only 2 of them, and because Caleb left the bubble, it disappeared, right?
It's gone, but it only takes me 11 minutes, but I don't know. Are we safe where we are?
We can do the bubble here and just, have this wall take up some of the bubble space, or we can just be right next to
We made
this
a bit
wall.
of a ruckus. That's the last thing you want to do in a jungle.
Oh, wait, what?
Are you okay? You don't look very good, Mr. Clay.
Thank you. I'm gonna cure wounds.
On yourself?
Yeah.
Did they seem like intelligent beasts?
Make a.
I'm going to do it to you too.
That was embarrassing. Just what happened there.
From what brief encounter you had, it's hard to say. Make a nature check. Well, actually, no. This would not be in nature. This is not a natural creature. Let's make a general intelligence check.
11?
That's better. That's a 20.
20.
Yeah.
They don't appear to be. They're more intelligent than some creatures in nature.
Yeah.
But there isn't any sort of.
Still animalistic.
Yeah, still
not
animalistic.
sentient.
They are natural to this island at the very least.
So then, knowing that, I would recommend, if I make the bubble again, even if some more of them come, as long as we stay safe for the next 10 minutes, if they come, we will be still and sleeping, and all they will see is a round stone. They're animals.
Agreed.
They will leave.
We should rally up back to back while Caleb casts it.
Are we going to leave the 2 dead animal bodies right here next to where we're camping? Because that could stink.
We'll move over to where our bubble was before. How about that?
Okay.
I'll start them going too, so it won't be a thing for very long.
And I will
Start them going.
begin my ritual spell in the same spot.
What were you guys doing out here?
I was sleeping. Did you notice?
No, but before that, why did you come out here?
What?
I will whisper to you, why did you come out here in the first place?
Oh.
Why were you walking around in the dark alone?
No need to yell. That's all right.
I'm whispering.
We were just looking at the temple, trying to maybe get an idea of what it was. It's just.
Yeah, he was holding his light up really bright and seeing if he could find any words and stuff.
I feel like I see where the problem
might
happened.
notice some light.
Yeah.
That may have been a poor call.
It's okay, We're learning things.
I definitely feel like I've learned
I think I need to pass out.
A good night of sleep will do you very well.
Does everything in this jungle have snake heads?
I think it's a fair assumption.
Or snake legs, or snake arms, or snake dicks.
Mecca leka hai, mecca haini ho.
You complete your ritual spell, and the tiny hut is completed.
Into the bubble.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
At this point, Jeremy goes, actually, I will be, if possible, interested in staying within this time.
Oh, all right.
He grabs a few things from the tent, and it's a very tight space. So 9 creatures is the max, right? So you've hit the maximum. But you all managed to fit in there in a very, yeah, not terribly comfortable space,
10
but
foot radius, so 20 from one side to the other.
yeah.
I still think one of us should stay up in shifts inside this bubble, just in case.
Yeah, I'll take the first shift. I'm
Oh,
good.
okay.
I'm very jittery tonight.
I'll take it. I'll stay up with you.
Frumpkin, by the way, is sort of flitting about a little bit from person to person when we talk. Even lands on Vantika's shoulder a little bit and does a little.
Okay.
I bring Sprinkle out from inside my hood and make sure he was okay during that whole fight.
Oh, wait.
Sprinkle, who is not necessarily used to the type of weather, appears to be very uncomfortable in the heat and being tucked into the cloth.
Some water and some little food.
What are you doing to that poor
Sorry,
dog?
buddy.
This is the crimson weasel.
Now my owl is,
The dog is with Ruby.
Yeah, whatever.
and Schuldigung, I'm sorry.
Still a responsibility.
Now the owl is pitter-patting on Evantika's head.
It's just walking along the head.
Walking.
Just, not constantly, but just like in a cute way.
I whispered in his ear. Make it poop.
Make it puke.
Make it poop on her head.
Are you putting the umlaut over the O's in the poop? Puke?
What are you talking
You said
about?
pupe.
What's wrong with
Avantika
that?
puts the finger up towards Frumpkin.
Don't do it.
He flickers up to the finger
Make it poop on her finger.
Unrealistic.
and bats his whatever I say. Bats little 1 ounce owl eyes at Evantika.
Interesting.
Have you never seen an owl before?
Not one so small and adorable and as docile.
It's pretty cute.
Frumpkin poops.
Really? Hey, Avantika. How many dudes you think you killed?
What, in all of my years?
Yeah.
I don't know, I stopped counting it around maybe 50.
Oh. That's awesome.
It's a high number.
Yeah, that's a big number.
But in my line of work, it's important to not hesitate when some drunk asshole tries to, I don't know, take your ship.
We
We're
can't
sober,
relate
I mean,
at all. Nope.
Well, anyway, I will be taking a nap with one eye open. Good night, everyone. And she kind of settles into her camping garb. Who's keeping watch?
She's ripping her pillow tight.
All right. Go ahead and make perception checks for the first watch, guys.
We're inside the bubble, right?
Yeah.
But you can hear things.
12.
1.
All right.
we're really looking for insight.
Yeah, also, we're being very quiet because we don't want to be heard, but while we're in here, Frumpkin, over a period of like 10 or 15 minutes, just goes, you see this, goes poop, 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 along the ground, poop, 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 hops onto Avantika's boot.
Okay.
Poop, 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 poop. Poop, 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 poop. Eventually stands on top of her dagger, and I cast Identify through touch
Okay.
of my familiar. And he weighs 1 ounce.
Yeah, that's true.
1 ounce is good.
1 ounce owl. It's the best band.
The 1 ounce.
Avantika, who, as mentioned before, was sleeping with one eye open, essentially, is kind of rested there. And then right as you begin to go through the actions of the casting, there is a flash of motion.
Oh no.
What is Frumpkin's armor class? The Frumpkin's armor class.
Oh, I'm sure it's terrible. Hold on a second. Creature.
Go to the creature.
Is there a negative?
Creature tab at D&D Beyond.
It is 11.
Frumpkin suffers 5 points of piercing damage.
Oh no!
As Avanta instinctually kind of.
Why did you do that?
Why did you do that?
You know why I did that.
And do you know why I did that?
Hey.
Big lad, it was just your owl. Please do not go peering. It is not wanted, huh?
Okay. Don't mind me while I make another owl. And I begin casting Find Familiar to bring back as a one-answer owl.
Cycling Frumpkin.
We lose more owls there.
I promised Beauregard an owl for a week, so I can't have my cat back. Okay, so 10 minutes later, there's an owl.
All right.
Watch is over.
You finish your watch, seemingly uneventful. Towards the tail end of it, you do see a shape of what looks to be another one of those leopard-like creatures that kind of stalks on the outskirts of the strange, opaque orb you've created and kind of approaches it. And just kind of circles around it for a bit, kind of prods at it every now and then. Spends about 40 minutes or so just keeping a watch, and then eventually loses interest and wanders off into the jungle.
Cool.
Not that kind.
All right, next watch. Who's taking next watch? You really need one more watch, I think. All right, Jester.
On the way on, because I got a pretty good amount of sleep during that fight. Can I ask Caleb before he goes to sleep? Hey, Caleb.
Yeah.
Could we stick things through the bubble?
You can go out and in, and you can, and you can put your weapons through it, but no magic will go in or out.
Okay.
But you can leave and come back anytime you want.
Okay. Just checking.
But please don't go on any walkabouts while we are sleeping.
Going to, Caleb.
But you already did.
Well, that was for Caduceus. Don't worry about it, okay?
You promise?
Of course I promise. I'm going to stay in here.
That is good enough for me. Good night.
Good night.
Make perception check.
Jesus.
20!
All right. Jomedi stays up to also take watch with you. Nice. Kind of sits across the opposite way, and you're watching this way over his shoulder, and he's looking over yours, and doesn't engage in conversation unless you wish to.
Have you ever seen those cat things before?
I've seen them my first time passing through here, yes, but I was quieter.
Yeah, we're pretty loud sometimes.
You are correct. This has been a bit more challenging than I originally anticipated.
Have you thought at all about the Traveler?
No,
Do you want the pamphlet?
I am confused as to what you are speaking of.
The Traveler.
You are strange
He's everywhere.
and creepy.
He's really great. I'll give you a pamphlet. I get it out and I walk it over to him. Here.
It takes a solid 10 seconds of him just inspecting it and looking up at you and inspecting it before he kind of...
Just read it over. There's a lot of information in there. It's really important.
Much appreciated.
He's here right now.
tucks it away into the inside of his vest.
Traveler! If you're here, you should show him you're here so that he will like you even more than he already does. Just give it a minute.
You're not quite sure who it was on that side that let one loose in their sleep, but the inside of the dome suddenly has a very fragrant air.
Oh, Dutch oven.
To be fair, we all had Indian for dinner tonight, so it could be any one of us.
He has cast his blessing upon us.
Maybe the most impressive of miracles.
How long have you been working for Captain Devontica?
Only for this journey once before.
Do you like her a lot?
She pays well. Does not judge.
What were you doing before you were working for her?
Working for other people.
What's the craziest thing you've ever done?
The eyes kind of narrow at you. I was the only survivor to the escaping singular mines to the north area of the continent. How far have you traveled outside of the Empire?
Oh, well, I'm from the Menagerie Coast, actually.
All right.
Yeah, so that far.
I have delved into a few ruins. I have been lucky enough to survive by working alone. I have seen many friends fall and disappear. But I have made my way. What's the craziest thing you have seen?
Ever in my life?
Sure.
Oh shit, I've seen some crazy shit. This one time, I saw a bug carrying a piece of bread that was like 5 times its size. And he was carrying it upstairs, like up, and then he would turn, and then it would go up, and then he would turn.
Will wonders ever cease? I'm going to concentrate on our surroundings for the remainder of our shift, if you do not mind. Look, Sam. Now, towards the tail end of your shift, as the sunlight begins to slowly peak up.
Slow laughter, and then it caught like fire.
There is some more shifting in the nearby bushes, and you see 2 figures beginning to approach the sphere. Look over. He kind of gets his short bow ready and knocks an arrow. As you guys wait, you can see 2 similar to what you had previously seen in your travels on this island, 2 lizard men, armored, one carrying a net that's kind of slung over his shoulder, the other with like a long spear, both kind of with shields off to the side, not ready for aggression, but they both approach slowly towards the strange sphere and begin just inspecting it.
Put my hand on its leg.
Upper thigh.
Kind of pokes it with the spear. The other one kind of steps forward and kind of licks it. They both kind of begin to walk around and inspect it and prod and poke it. He's like, you could see like he's just kind of looking out very intensely, the bow notch. They both kind of circle around the back end of it, poke at the dome a few more times, and then picks up a rock and throws it at it, kind of skips off of the exterior of it and rests in a nearby bush. They both step forward one more time and kind of smell it closely. And they both turn around and begin to make their way in the opposite direction of where the dome is set, kind of making their way further into the jungle clearing. One of them stops and kind of looks back behind one more time at the dome and turns back, and both of them kind of vanish into the nearby brush.
Is it getting light yet?
It is. There's no sign of the sun, but it's that early morning kind of soft blue that's starting to overtake the evening's night.
We should wake up. Everybody should wake up. We should get out of here before they come back with more people. There was like, I couldn't tell. They were shadowy, but I think they were like lizard man or snake man.
All right.
Could you tell?
I would say that they are probably very close to the ones we saw before.
Which ones? The lizard men or the snake men?
They appear to be of the lizardman heritage.
We should get out of here, even though the lizard men are obviously the weaker of the two. Caleb, we should get up and get out of here.
Yeah, okay.
They know where we are.
Quickly.
Did we get a long rest?
You do get a long rest.
Oh, good.
Okay, well, say the word and I'll pull it down.
Let's get everything together first. Ready? Following you.
All right, collect your belongings. He goes over and starts assembling his tent quickly, rolling it up and putting it into his pack over his shoulder. You guys gather your things.
Should we make it make the brush look like we weren't sleeping on it and stuff?
What?
You know, so that they won't be able to
Make a survival check, Bo.
Okay.
Do the running man in the mud, Bo.
It's not great. 9.
There are a series of foot grooves in the dirt.
Good enough.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like anybody slept here. It looks like a bunch of people kicked here.
Okay, good.
So what that may be.
Dance was it?
Yeah. You gather your things. Gemini leads you back towards the jungle.
All right, a few more hours and I think we will be on the outskirts of the village.
I've cast Pass Without a Trace on all of us again.
All right.
So, yes?
Mr. Giametti, what are we going to find when we get there? Are there any baddies?
Oh, there are plenty of these snake people where they live. We will have to be very quiet. We'll have to gauge our passage through their town. Try to not be seen, and if we are seen, eliminate whoever catches us before it can notify the rest of them of our presence. Make our way towards the central structure. Trust me, you'll know it when you see it.
Looks back to Avantika and says,
And I believe that is the quarry in which you paid for beneath that, correct?
Avantika goes, that is correct. In we go and see where it takes us. So, shall we? Gemedi leads the way.
All right, come forward.
You all begin to slowly make your way into the jungle as you cast Pass Without a Trace. And we'll come back at the end of the break from that.
Owl on your head.
There you go.
Oh, God.
Stealth owl. All right, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll come back to that with that stealth check and this next leg of the journey into the island of Urukayxl. What's up?
Oh, the giveaway just happens now. We don't have to say anything.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, we do?
No, we do. It's still here.
Awesome.
So we have our fantastic Wormwood giveaway tonight. We have. Here we go. So moving forward, you'll have to move into the chat. This is how it's been. You have to move into the Critical Role chat on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/Critical Role. To win tonight's awesome Wing Turquoise Inlay Halloween Dice Vault. Yeah, it's available now through Halloween on Kickstarter for it. Yeah. So it's the dice vault that keeps all your dice magnetically held together, and it has this cool glowing runic sigils on it, as well as this glowing Wormwood symbol. But you can find these at Wormwood on the Kickstarter currently. The keyword tonight is jungle. So go ahead and put jungle in once. More than once you'll be disqualified. Once again, only available for those in the US and Canada, excluding Quebec. We're working on it. But anyway, we'll be back here in a few minutes. We'll see you guys shortly. Welcome back, everyone. So, before we get back into the story, we have our winner for the Dice Vault giveaway. Our winner is Wolfstar Umbra. Ooh. Now, if that doesn't sound like someone's D&D character, I don't know what does. Yeah, right. But Wolfstar, congratulations. We'll get your information, get the Dice Vault sent out to you.
Thank you for
It is true. We are Wolfstar Umbra.
Wolfstar is a space cowboy. It's like total space cowboy.
It's true. Sorry,
Thank
Wolfstar.
you, Wolfstar. Thank you, Wolfstar.
All right.
I'll never know your truth.
So now, in the early morning daylight.
I'll be right back.
Okay, go.
Oh no.
In the early morning daylight here on Urukayxl Island, you trudge deeper and deeper into the jungles. As the low mist in the jungle begins to burn away, as the day itself grows warmer, all of you getting a bit more adjusted to the temperature and the general atmosphere. Bo, you're feeling a little rough.
Yeah?
What?
You get like this kind of
The humidity?
sweating a little bit, and this kind of soreness in your body, and this kind of general body pain, kind of a dull pain throughout.
You got mono.
Nope. I'm great.
Just kind of, you're not quite sure why it's come over you, but pressing on, Giametti leads you for about another hour and a half, 2 hours to the jungle, before putting his hand up once more to stop you all. Oh, we need to make a stealth check, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Because when we come back, yes.
Pass without a trace.
Pass without a trace, everybody.
And do I still have? No, I don't. Not anymore.
Yeah! Natural 20 plus 10!
Do I have the thing?
I think that was my...
Please tell me you
shit.
got those trace up.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was my 7th 4 of
I don't
the
happen to
night.
have the blessing.
Hey, one of mine too.
Laura.
You rolled with advantage, right?
Do I have the blessing anymore?
No, you
I
slept.
didn't.
Oh, sorry.
Give it to you.
The blessing.
14.
14.
33.
Woohoo!
You even here?
30 maxed out, jeez. Laura reminds me that I roll with advantage, so I'm at a 30.
There you go. Caleb.
30.
34.
15.
Okay. And Yasha. Natural 18. Not bad. All right.
Still the mofos.
You guys are cruising your way through the jungle and using that score as you approach Jamedi with his hand out behind him, stopping you. Glancing just past his shoulder, you can see the jungle trees begin to clear. And the first thing that catches your eye beyond this tree line, you can see a few dozen scattered stone buildings, most of them in relatively good shape, immediately coming into view. You can see the stone coloration is more of like a sandstone, kind of yellowish to a dull gray and white, with different materials used to accent elements of the construction. This doesn't match the ruins you had previously slept in the night before. These appear to be fresher. You can see the verdant green jungle vines and roots begin to entwine and tangle near the base of some of them, and where it's built looks like parts of the jungle have grown up around and kind of helped camouflage elements of this small village. You can see elements of the exposed stone carry snakehead obelisks that appear to be softly carved from bits of almost like a marble material or recovered stone in a similar way that most of the construction has been done.
The figurine that I recovered earlier?
A similar sculpt and design, though larger and of more detail. You see each of these obelisks about 10 feet tall, and they tend to be markers at different intersections of travel. You can see probably a dozen or so folk immediately at this position that you're at that are wandering through the city. Some are gathering materials. You can see actually up the way across one of these walls, you see 4 figures that are strung up by their feet. You can see the remnants of the lizard men that are in the process of having the flesh flayed from their body. You see one of the more humanoid ones, probably one of the hunters that you saw alongside the snake-armed man, is where the blade is just stripping it off of the bones and then slawing it into a pile next to it. We hear over on top of each other.
What do the obelisk eyes look like?
Make a perception check.
8.
Hard to tell at this distance. You'd have to get a lot closer.
Who's got the moat this morning? Who moated? Who dodeca?
Oh dang! We were gonna pass it around.
Yeah, it's somewhere in the building.
Are we?
We'll find it.
Yeah, well, Luke.
Give it to Ford again. This is his day.
Okay, Ford.
Well, I was.
Stare at it. Look into its eyes.
You don't want to give it to Caduceus?
I will not say no to it.
Look into its eyes.
Give it to Clint.
I don't know.
All right, you take your mode of possibility.
And we're hanging back at this point. We're not in the thick of it. We're seeing all this from a distance. I was thinking
Yes.
about spells. Yeah.
And remember, if anything goes down, Ford and I will take point. Caduceus, I noticed before it seemed like you guys were poisoned immediately, but not lingering.
Oh, I should
Oh yeah, I'm feeling
when
fine.
we woke up.
Are you? I'm
Yeah.
not like saying anything. What?
You seem a little.
Nope.
Are you sure?
Yep.
I can do it.
Nope.
Do you
Great.
feel okay?
Yeah.
She look okay?
Make a medicine check.
What did you say?
22.
Looking at her, you can see there's. All of you are fairly warm and sweaty. Her complexion is paler than you recall. There is quite a bit of sweat, more so than expected, that is kind of streaming down her body. Her vision appears to be not as focused, and she's not making eye contact with you as she speaks to you. Lids are a bit droopy. This doesn't look healthy.
You don't look okay. Are you sure? You really don't
Fuck
look
you.
okay.
Oh, okay.
Did you
Well,
make him bake?
There might be some.
What?
There might be
Did
some
you make
leeches
him
in this jungle. Maybe like some ticks.
I don't. I mean, like I'm just offering something
Ritual
medicinal.
cast into this discussion.
What are you
Do I
casting?
have like,
Comprehend
do you
languages.
see red stripes?
No,
I feel stripy. I don't know why.
you're clammy
Should we
and
try to
Heal you or something?
heal you or something?
I am great. I'm awesome.
You should.
Are you
This is-
itchy?
Okay, you haven't been around her as much. When she tells you don't do something, well, usually don't do it. But okay, that's weird.
Maybe it's a human thing.
She's got.
She's
Are you okay?
hiding that she's actually
proud.
not okay.
hold on.
No.
You should take this.
No.
Is it tea? What is that?
Yeah, what is it? Give her mushrooms.
This. Take a look at this. I just want to take a look. Does it smell bad?
Yeah,
Oh,
you
that's
smell
fine. It's a
bad.
clever distraction. I'm
What?
touching her and casting Lesser Restoration.
Oh, okay.
I have siblings. Don't think I've never done this before.
Smell this. Bip.
Okay. You finish casting the spell, the energy subsides, you pull back, and there's no change in her demeanor.
Don't touch me.
I apologize. That's weird.
I'm sorry,
though.
I was wrong. She's just a bitch.
I get that a lot.
You really don't look okay. Just for fun, really quickly.
Based on your medicine check, and kind of gleaning, it looks to be not a toxin. This is more of a disease that's taking hold.
Just out of curiosity, one check for undead, really quickly.
Diseased. Oh no, Bo.
For the time being, just as a note, as this has come to be noticed, all of your Constitution saving throws are a disadvantage.
Oh, great.
Did you get hit in the fight?
No.
No, I just.
You must have caught something from.
Does Eyes of a Grave show anything here?
No.
Okay.
Oh, you got malaria.
All right. Did what I can.
Context.
China's disease.
You got the
Does it seem
labels?
contagious?
Not from what you can tell.
Okay.
You're not entirely certain what the disease is.
Oh no, Bo, I'm just not going to stand near you,
Yeah,
okay?
Okay.
It's some sort of an insect distributed kind of jungle ailment.
It's the con plague. We just got back from New York.
We have some
Like
victims.
a third of our people are down. It's very empty out there.
Yeah.
It's just Ed.
It is. So sad.
And then he fell too.
Oh. But at least she got to watch our driver almost beat up that guy.
That's true.
Too much for the
Anyway.
Hulk was in this motherfucker, did you?
That was amazing. Anyway, back to task.
Right. Yeah. Just be careful what you touch for a little while. We need to.
I'm always careful with what I touch. Let's just keep moving.
All right. As you guys slightly press forward, Jametti's showing a bit of a path off to the side. He glances towards the path where he was going, and one thing that catches your attention is you've seen the men with the snake arms. You've seen the folk with the kind of, scaled skin patches. What you see now towards this one stairway portion that now leads to what you previously didn't see below the tree line, but a massive stone structure beset by these stairs on each of its 5 sides. Envision like a semblance of an Aztec pyramid, but a 5-side shape that levels off at the top, and there are sets of stairs on each of these 5 sides. At the base of the nearest one, you see less of a man and more of a giant snake, maybe 12 to 15 feet long, coiled and muscular, but to a humanoid torso with 2 heavy log-like arms that kind of rest at its sides, one kind of resting on this large sheathed scimitar-like blade, its head curled up into this heavy, just straight serpent snake-like mouth as its jaw kind of hangs open, its tongue. It's just keeping an eye, and it kind of slithers across the road, kind kind of bowing from side to side as it looks across the tree line.
At the base of the structure it's doing?
At the base of the structure. You're seeing a variety of these snake people going about their lives. This one's just kind of keeping a watch on that one element, and Jimedi, you can hear kind of curse under his breath. He says, that was the path I took to the inside last time. And we're going to have to improvise. Which way do you want to go?
We're trying to get into the center of this, all of this?
Monica's like, of course, inside that big thing right there.
Okay, so if I'll go over to Jimedi. If we can clear him, is the path you've taken before clear as far as you can see? I don't know which way you went.
Yeah, as far as I can remember, it was fairly clear, but it is also... I had to ensure that there was not many watching. They have these, like right there, and he points over to the side, and you can see along the stairs what looks to be almost like a withered person. You see them very, like a smaller human, hunched forward, their body kind of a light green tint to it itself, kind of this wrinkled, scaled body, its neck protruding and kind of curved outward. It looks like the lizard folk you had seen earlier, but with a longer neck and almost geriatric in the way they kind of carry themselves forward, lumbering, carrying a large spear, and appears to be watching like a sentinel across the upper portion of this large stone structure.
So it's got a lizard face, not like a human face with a really long neck.
From what you can tell from this distance, it's hard to see, but it looks to be more serpent and more snake-like.
Okay.
Serpentine.
Like the Beetlejuice part where his head goes.
Can anyone create a distraction that doesn't put their own person at risk?
Sure.
And you can see there's about 4 or so buildings between where you are and the base of the structure. Like there's a small village that surrounds the base of this temple, and so you guys have to find your way through this city.
Without being seen?
Yes.
It's a big group of us.
It's not us clearing and then the building. There's stuff.
Can we make ourselves look like the snake people?
Sure,
Couple
some
of
of
us
us can.
I can't.
Although we could throw you in a net and act like you were dinner.
Yes.
Okay.
What's wrong with that?
Who's got a net?
Hey, you two, can you make yourself look like snake people?
Ivanka goes, that is not really a speciality of mine. However, I'm very good at not being seen. And Jimmy goes, that is also my specialty. Perhaps we can come from a different direction, smaller group. The two of us can meet you on the way.
I did not prepare the spell to disguise myself. I thought we would be fighting monster people, so...
Such a bitch. Sucks.
What?
Saying that as a person. I'm just commiserating.
Are you Marisha?
Moving on.
Or...
Yeah, I was.
Okay.
Yeah. How about I go with these guys? With Jimedi and Avantika.
They both look at you and say, the whole point of this was to make it a small group. The more we add to this group, the harder it is for us to do this.
3's a small group.
Can you be invisible?
How many of us can change? 1, 2, 3, 4.
But not these two.
Awesome, great. 2 of us, 1 each tie them up in rope.
They're humans. They're
But still move.
disgusting,
We gotta rough it up a
filthy
little bit.
pigskins.
But still, we move really stealthily.
Oh wait, Yasha.
Yasha's sitting there with her arms crossed, going, just listening to the whole conversation, going,
Can you change
What?
your appearance?
I mean, kind of.
I don't think she
Kind
can
of.
do it like we think.
I can do wings.
Yeah, that's less of what we're looking for.
Maybe
We can make a distraction. Some of us can sneaky.
maybe we
saw
do
bottle
separate
rockets.
into smaller groups
The ones who
and try
can't,
to stealth it.
the ones who can't change can go first, and we'll make a distraction. The ones who can, and then the ones who can just walk in after.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay.
Comforting.
You'll have Yasha with you
They lose.
and Bo
That's true.
to protect you.
But without you,
This is
they're
a
not going to
city.
be as sneaky. We have to stay together if we're going to want to be super
That is
sneaky.
a really good point.
together.
Okay,
Probably.
here's the thing.
They won't have to be sneaky if we make it enough of a distraction, right?
What if we don't make a distraction, we make them look like prisoners, we still try to be sneaky, but then if we're caught, you know, then we have an excuse.
All right. All in favor of that plan?
Sure.
So
That's one vote.
Yeah.
Can't
Do we
actually.
think that these beings' reaction will be to not lizard people being on this island all of a sudden?
Or for the
I
matter,
think
if we
they'll
can't
probably
speak to them.
try to.
You think it's an everyday or every week or month occurrence? I think we're probably pretty special here.
I think they might try to kill us and then eat us like that guy
I
over
think we
there.
should try to be as sneaky as possible. If for some reason shit hits the fan, I can make a pretty, I think, spectacular distraction that doesn't put me or us at risk. But I think we should try stealth first.
Stealth with a couple emergency
Stealth,
snake
distraction, fuck shit up. Cool?
Okay,
You can
so
make a distraction far away from us?
Yeah.
if Caleb and I move together, you have your message spell that you can send back and forth to not.
We all have to move together.
Oh, that's what we're doing?
Well, because you guys aren't as stealthy without, you know, being within 30 feet of me.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Maybe we do the light bait thing. I don't know.
What, act like you're tied up?
Maybe.
Yeah, we'll do it
That's if
anyway.
they see us then.
We'll tie your hands in the
If
front.
they don't see us, it doesn't matter what you look like.
Okay,
Loosely.
okay.
I think that
Yeah.
if anyone that looks like me or you shows up on this island, anyone who sees it is going to come asking questions immediately.
What
I
if-
agree.
What if, do any of the people we see walking around, do any of them wear cloaks?
Make a perception check.
That's not a bad thought.
Hey.
14?
Looking around, you don't see many cloaks. The weather here is warm enough to the point where there isn't the need to bundle. There's no need for hoods because the society here wants to make sure that they can very quickly identify who's part of their faction and who isn't. So yeah, there's no cloaks. You see what are like open robes, simple bits of cloth just to kind of cover aspects of the body for protection from the sun and otherwise. But beyond that, it's
But there
mostly
are
just
some
skin
people-
and scale.
There are some people that look just like people?
There are people that look mostly like people from a distance, but upon closer look, their skin at places gets like a greener hue in patches. Their eyes are yellow.
Okay.
Their snake-like eyes,
I mean,
sharper teeth.
I'll use my disguise kit and try to make it look like they've got scales on them. They would probably know the people in their old fucking village, though, let's be honest.
Are there several dozen people, or is it,
Now that you've watched, the first view you had was only the first few buildings in front of you. Now that you've stepped forward and glanced, you can see there's maybe about 30 to 40 buildings that kind of sit around the base of this entire temple. And you've seen a few dozen in the street. So the society here, you can assume probably somewhere in the neighborhood of like 100 to 300 people live in this city
let's
total.
do that. Yeah.
That's
I'll
a
use
lot of
Mask of Many
people.
Faces to look like one of those fucks. And let's try and paint some scales on the non-changeling folks.
Blip, 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 blip.
All right, so you're applying them to Yasha and Bo and Caleb.
And the clothes we've seen on these people are like what? The purple robes you mentioned? and-
Purple robes,
very lit clothes?
like simple cloth skirts. It's most of the clothing that is worn there is just for general protection and adornment. You can see like jewelry adorning some of them, but it's very simple and it's more for purpose than anything extravagant or presentational.
I begin to put my spell books into Ford's bag.
Folding. Okay.
Yeah, I can't have ornate book holsters and.
I'll take good care of them.
Trying to make myself look as simple as possible.
Carnival time.
Disguise self.
Ritual cast is gone.
Avatka goes, well, I'll be watching. Au revoir. And she
Wait,
kinda,
before you go, where are we meeting? Are we just the temple at the top?
I figure the top of that would be a very
Fair enough.
effective place to meet. Is that not correct? That is where you entered last time, huh? And she turns to his Jamedi, who's kind of keeping low to the ground. Goes,
It is indeed where I was. There is a room inside there I could not walk into. I could not find a way through. And that was when I returned. So, we'll meet there.
Avatka goes, au revoir. waves her hand through the air and kind of marks a few symbols, and you watch as she just disappears.
I had that spell once.
So are these guys painted green? Is that what we're doing?
That's what we're going to find out right now. So go ahead and roll a. You're proficient with your disguise kit, so it's proficiency bonus plus. I'll say dexterity check to see how well you can apply these details to their bodies. So roll for each one of them.
80s Halloween costume. Come on, come on,
Yeah.
come on.
Caleb.
State fair.
Dracula.
All the way.
Yeah, make me look like Spider-Man.
8.
Oh.
So Caleb has just like these green circles on his face,
I'm gonna
and
get
like
better.
patches.
It's hard to paint beards.
And you're like,
You know.
like great, looks good.
You look really
So
good.
for Bo,
Stipple sponge.
Okay, that's way better. 17.
I can't
17. Bo, actually, pretty good job. The line work and shading you had done in these various patches and on the inside of the brow line helps make her look a little more snake-like. You've sunk in the jowls. You've done like kind of the scattered
It's like
patches with
face-off.
patch marks.
You look pretty convincing. You look pretty convincing. How do I look?
Now that I'm seeing,
Polio.
now that I'm seeing how good I did on Bo, I'm realizing how shitty Caleb is. But I'm not going to tell
What do you
him.
mean?
Yeah.
What did you say?
And then Yasha seems strangely excited. Like, oh, dude,
You ready?
me next, me next.
Okay. Oh.
Is that a one? Shit. God, why are you rolling that big fucker?
It was good before.
This one's from Sam.
So, you guys kind of are looking amongst yourselves while she's working on Yasha, and finally she finishes, and voila, pulls back, and it's just Grinch. It's just green, head to toe, like bright green. It's pretty bad, but you feel pretty confident in that.
Amazing.
Yasha
It's a
was
really
like,
good color on you.
okay, let's do this.
I'm just gonna grab Caleb and just be like, "You're gonna be fine out there. It's gonna be fine." Just
What do you mean?
think
She
like a
looks bad.
lizard,
I think she
right?
looks really good, Caleb.
and I'm gonna take some flowers and just stick one in his hair for good luck.
Is that better?
I don't know. It's good luck.
And I
though.
lean in way into Not's ear and say, "Oh, by the way, Caduceus says that Jamedi is actually a dead thing."
What? What? No, but what? Shit! Why are we following him then?
Wait, I lean in and I say, are we whispering now? Are we whispering again?
No, they're gone.
No, we're whispering.
Telling Not that Jamedi is a dead thing. Caduceus says Jamedi is dead.
What?
He's dead.
Keep it on the DL.
The dead low?
Why are we following him?
Just because he's dead doesn't mean he's a bad guy.
You whispering too?
Yes, of course I am.
We don't have a choice.
What if he came here, was killed, and was sent to come get us, to bring us back as feeding for whatever's down there?
What if we let the pirate queen tie rocks to our feet and we're dead? We just have to do this. We can kill them later.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Oh, you're still here? Shit!
Well, I hadn't left yet. I was curious to see your
Did you
pattern.
know? Where are you?
You don't see it. The voice is just coming from nowhere.
Is Jamedi here?
Make a perception check.
18.
Looking around, you do not see Jamedi immediately in the vicinity.
Is he on speakerphone?
Avantika!
No, this is Avantika.
Avantika!
Right.
Did you know he was dead?
We were specifically was not telling you because I knew you were gonna panic.
Did you know he was a dead guy?
I was not aware, but now I am very curious as to where you found this information and what you think this means.
I just know things. I don't know what it means. I was trying to find a moment to figure out if you knew or if we should tell you or if this was part of some sort of plan. I just hadn't figured it out, and for some reason, I had not realized that I was walking around with a bunch of gossips. Well, it's what I get, I suppose, for trying to be sneaky about things.
Nice job, guys. Nice job. He's gonna fucking leave again. Good job.
Whose side are you on?
I've been doing my best not to be thrown by it.
That is all
seems
right.
like he's been standing up all right.
He's done work for me before and was successful. He
Pretty
has.
cool.
Wait, why would you?
Has he always been dead? Is this a recent thing? Where are you?
Don't worry about it. But nevertheless, he has done his job so far. I assume we just keep a close eye. If ever he decides to give any sign of turning on any of us, well, it's 8 against 1.
Indeed. I'll take out several feet of rope from the bag of holding and say, we should do this before he achieves the destination for
See you on the other side. And you watch as the dust kind of, the
It's your
footprints.
footprints.
This is why I was trying to keep it on the down low.
Why?
I knew certain members of the party may get a little excited. I myself had a moment of panic. I had a moment of panic myself. But I've been keeping it
Do you
contained.
feel okay now?
No, there's a dead guy walking around. That's unsettling. That's like unsettling to my very core, I gotta admit. But you know,
Well, now we just have to go walk around snake people and not be seen, so that's fine.
it's an improvement at the very least.
Hey, Ford. Avantika can like go invisible or peek into what we're saying. Can you do that?
No. Well, kinda. Not
What?
really. No. I
How
mean,
much have you heard?
I can pop in and out of.
We've
but
seen you flit about.
yeah, that one.
But you
but I
can't
can't
hear
just-
what's on the other side when you're popping in and out, can you? Oh, yes, you can.
Yeah.
That's right, you can.
How many
Within a
fingers am I
certain
holding up?
Eh.
None.
Oh, I forgot that. I'm really distracted right now. I don't know why I bother.
No.
We should probably get pretty sneaking on here. We go.
Yeah.
That was really
Let's and we'll put 2 in the front, 2 in the back, and put these 3 in the.
Kind of like in the middle.
Yeah.
Your past on trace is probably faded at this point with the travel you've made at this point, so you'd have to recast it to
You
get the
guys
stealth bonus.
should probably do it again.
Yeah.
Pass. And I give Yasha the blessing of the trickster.
Alrighty.
Good call.
So, everyone make a stealth check, please.
Okay. Hang on, real quick. Real talk for just a second. If Yasha comes with us and we puppet her and she dies, Ashley's gonna be real mad.
So
Just
don't-
pointing this out last time because I did this with Pike. Not saying one way or the other, just saying we're gonna continue on with Yasha. Okay, done. Done. That's all I'm gonna say.
She's gonna be in a defensive stance for most of the fight.
Yeah, she'll be fine.
Right?
I'll pilot her.
I would say let's text her, but she's in another country, so she probably wouldn't get it.
Okay,
Stealth
let's
checks,
go.
guys.
Stealth check.
21.
21.
Fuck.
Pass without trace.
20.
25.
Oh, I get advantage.
You do.
30. No. 38.
Sure.
Rogues, man. Rogues.
What? Natural 1.
But
26.
She's a lizard person. She'll be fine.
And for Yasha, if you want to roll twice.
25.
Okay.
Natural 15.
All right.
At least I look like a snake person.
Yeah, you'll be a loud snake person. It's fine.
So, you all begin to make your way towards the first set of buildings. You can see there's that one individual that's flaying the bodies of the lizardmen. Has made their way through 2 of them. There are 2 more that are in the process of being stripped. You can see there is one street that breaks through 2 of the ones closest to you. Do you wish to take that path? What do you wish to do to stealth in? Because part of the pathway here is kind of out in the open, so you'd have to kind of gauge your timing and.
Describe the 2 again.
So where you are now, towards the main stairway that leads at the top, you have about 2 streets or 3 sets of buildings to get through. The ones closest to you, there are 2 large buildings that are immediately towards your side. One side has nobody around it. The other one has one individual that is currently flaying the hanging corpses of the 4 lizard men.
I vote for the one guy flaying the lizard man.
agreed.
Distracted.
Mm-hmm. And it's one guy.
The other one has no guys.
That never is no guys.
Okay. I follow your lead, Captain.
Let's go that way. We'll go towards the flay.
Okay. So you make your way, exiting the jungle way. And are you going quickly and quietly so nobody notices, or are you just strolling through using your stealth as a means of trying to keep any sort of...
Trying to blend in.
Gotcha. Okay. So, all of you move forward. Are you dragging them behind by ropes?
No, we're in the middle.
Snake people in the middle.
We're Assassin's Creeding it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, if there is a building to walk beside, I would prefer to have our shittily drawn, and one very nice one closest to the building with us on the outside. Okay.
Yeah, I'll be the barrier.
So people in real disguise.
Mama elephants and then baby elephants.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So you guys kind of cluster and begin to shift as just this herd of snake folk making your way towards that direction.
Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God.
As the light hits you, as you leave the branches of the jungle and begin shifting, fully open now in the middle of the midday sun, immediately you feel the heat in the back of your neck and shoulders begin to just grow hotter and hotter as the nerves build up inside. You cruise through the open area, and to the left you hear a whoosh, psh. You glance over and you can see another one of those massive, mostly snake, serpentine, hulking individuals is currently wielding a whip. Whoosh. And you can see there's a cluster of lizard men that are currently chained and are currently pushing on a heavy bar that is dragging a large piece of stone out of the jungle towards the center of the city. They're bent into slave labor for these people there and are pushing it forward. That catches you off guard for a minute, but you continue to focus and move forward. As you get closer, you can hear the slick sound of the flesh being pulled from the back of the lizard man's body.
Oh, yeah.
Onto the side. I did a little bit of spit on that one. Pardon. Moving around the side, the figure finishes and throws it and glances over and just looks at your group. And just starts kind of looking somewhat curiously as you pass. Make a deception check, Jester.
Why?
Because I rolled a shitty stealth, that's why. Oh, no.
Yasha's gonna make a deception check as well.
Alright.
Oh, natural 20!
All right. Yasha rolled pretty high in that, actually. So the figure kind of goes back to its work and begins carving it. You move past that into the first street walkway. It moves on for about 15 or so feet, and then it has a cross path that goes to the right and left, and you can see ahead it goes to another set of buildings behind, and there's an alley that turns to the right, and it seems to end at that point. So you have a T intersection before you, and then it ends and curves to the right. Where do you go?
An intersection to go through to get to that right turn past.
I see.
Correct.
So it's like a cross T intersection.
Right, you keep moving, and then there's a right and left, or you can keep moving, and then it turns to the right.
Are there any windows, doors, anything in these buildings?
You see open squares. You don't see, there's no glass panes, but there are carved rectangles removed.
Can we move up to the side of one and glance in as we slow down just a little bit to peek through?
Sure.
On this T intersection?
No, just before we get to the intersection.
Okay.
Sure.
Just to be clear, I always thought a T intersection was an intersection like this.
I meant
like a
forward step.
Okay.
Forward step. That's my fault.
Got it.
That's my fault.
Okay.
He's pulling out thousands of words.
It's a lowercase
out
t.
of his butt.
I get it. I just wanted to make
Just like this.
sure I understand.
Sorry, I meant a cross intersection.
Okay.
Yes. No, it's fine. No, it's an important clarification. It's an important.
All the words.
That's my brain fart, man. I appreciate it.
Millions of
But yeah,
words.
you're right on that.
Okay.
Okay,
So
Cooper, Liam. Yeah. Liam from Ojai.
Namaste.
Your level 7 tapes.
The most expeditious movement towards the temple, I suppose, would be
Can we look in the window?
Well, as he's saying this, you glance to the window to the side to your left, and as you look in, make a perception check.
Ooh, 7.
You glance inside, and it's a simple interior. There's a little bit of sunlight coming through from the opposite side of it, from the direction of the light in the sky. It kind of frames ambiently the outside of a figure that appears to be humanoid, that is sitting over a table of some kind, and you can hear like some grinding or carving sound, but it's faced away from you. Looks to be some sort of a workshop.
Keep going?
Yeah.
All right, we'll push through.
Okay, you push towards the first intersection.
Can I see the tower, the temple at all, above the buildings?
Yeah, you can see the top of the temple from here.
Okay, so does this curve look like we're still heading the right way?
It'll start making towards the nearest stairway that leads towards the top.
It's just the bottom of the structure. And
Right.
curves around.
As you approach the T intersection, you hear this murmuring of conversation coming from the left-hand side of it.
I cast comprehend languages.
You do, and you pick it up. It is abyssal.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And then I don't know. If you had a character sheet, you would have the benefits of knowing that, but not my responsibility. But yeah, so you pick up on it, and the muttering is akin to, "Come, we have to pick up the hunts. The food stores are running dry this season." And as that comes to you, you kind of glance off to the side, and you guys watch as two figures round the corner. They're both mostly human in body, though their bodies are scaled in like a dull green-gray color. Their heads fully serpentine, the snake jaws. The hood's not open, but just kind of retracted. And they both have strapped across their shoulders and torsos longbows that are kind of at rest, and they have quivers filled with arrows. And they just kind of walk past and kind of glance over at the rest of your crew. Make a deception check.
Yes.
Okay. 22.
Okay. And Yasha as well. The disguise didn't quite go well, and Yasha and Caleb, even in the clustered section, are catching some attention. The first one keeps walking, the second one kind of glances over and looks at the rest of you and, "Hey." And you hear an abyssal, "Hey, what have you got? You guys here?" "Yeah, let's get one."
As that one turns, I'll turn to Yasha and I'll go, "Oof," and just punch her in the face and say, "Go down."
She goes, "Oh." She's not used to rolling with a punch.
You're gonna take a dive.
But she goes down, and the kind of figure kind of looks up, its eyes narrowing, and the tongue.
Stand over Yasha, take the rope and start tying her hands together.
Wait! To the other one, who stops. Looks back and goes,
Oh, God.
begins to kind of walk towards you, just kind of keeping a hand on the bow.
I cast hold person.
Oh, no.
Sorry, I already said it at 3rd level.
On both of them?
Yes.
That's a failure. That's a 12. Oh, that's cocked. And a natural 4, they both fail. They both freeze in place.
We should tie them up and then go.
We're in the middle of the street. We can't tie them up. We gotta go.
We're in the middle of the street?
Yes.
You're in the middle of the street.
Let's go. Let's just walk quickly. Walk quickly.
Yeah, we're picking up and
I
moving
really should have charmed
expeditiously
them instead of
away.
held them, but let's go.
Yeah, or distraction. There was a distraction. We were
Want to do a distraction now?
Not now.
Oh, okay.
No,
We
let's
gotta
go. That's
Distraction is then.
So they are currently paralyzed
get out
in the
in a
middle of
minute.
the street. For the next minute, once they're released, they're gonna do whatever they do.
Should we take
Do we
their
see
hand?
anyone else
Can we
around?
hold their hand?
Do we see anyone else around besides those two?
Currently, right now, make a perception check.
Paralyzed.
Walk them with us. Yeah.
Oh, 20.
20, glancing about at this moment, the only other figure you can see near this intersection is one of the patrolling kind of hunched creatures you saw up on the temple itself, on the second tier, and is currently walking away from you and doesn't seem to be paying attention.
Yeah, actually, we should take them and kill them because they could actually snap out of it at any second.
Yeah. Okay, then grab them.
Kill them.
Kill them. Yeah, kill them.
Grab them. Slit their throats.
They're large
pull them-
beings,
let's
right?
pull them off the street. Pull them off the street.
Pull them off the street.
Okay, Yasha.
Any second they could get
Pull them
them.
off the street.
So while you guys are deciding on this, they both get to, I believe it's every turn they get to make a save.
That's right.
Natural 2 and 11 plus 2, 13. Yeah, they're still held.
Pull them off the street. Pull them off the street.
Okay.
Yasha should pull them
Pull them
off
off the street. Pull them off the street.
Okay, so you guys kind of lift up their arms and pull them off.
Waking and burning.
Are there any doors around here?
The building to the left of you was the one that you saw the craftsman in. The one to the right, you can see there is an open doorway.
Is there anybody in there?
Let's just go in.
All right, you drag them over.
I'm gonna
peek
walk
in?
towards first to peek in because I look
Yeah.
like a snake.
Okay, make a perception check.
All right. That's terrible. 11.
11. You glance inside. You can see what looks to be like a pile of rags on the small kind of table in the corner, but nobody else appears to be in there.
Inside.
Yep.
All right, you guys gonna pull them inside.
Wrap him up, wrap him up.
Another 11 plus 2, 13, failure, and an 8 plus 2. They're still.
Okay, tie him up as much as we can and then like gag their mouths.
Yep.
And just toss them in a
We're
corner.
working the rope. Da, 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 da.
Should we kill him?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. They would kill us. We watch them skinning the inhabitants of this.
It's a 5.
Will they wake up if we hurt them now?
I summon the sword, I
15.
run over and I just shove it into his chest.
What's your DC?
15.
15. One of them succeeds.
Yo, I
But
take
we're
him
already
and
tying, but we're
I,
already tying him.
In the process of it.
he kills one guy, snap the other guy's
Okay,
neck.
so the guy that's paralyzed, go ahead
I
and
plunge the sword into
attack.
his chest.
Attack twice, each time with advantage.
Okay, with advantage. All right.
Both hits are crits because he is paralyzed.
Amazing. Okay, so that is 16.
16 hits.
Well, are they automatic crits?
Yeah.
Oh, the damage is.
The damage is crit, yeah.
Okay, and the second one is 23. All right. Yeah, 23 is the highest
Yep,
one.
both hit, both crit.
Both hit, both crit. Okay.
You said one saved?
One saved.
But we were putting things in their
We were
mouth.
tying him up and begins to, but we'll get to that in just a minute.
29.
29 points of damage. You just carved through him. These are more, ranged hunters. They're not as hardy as some of the other ones out there. And this one, you managed to, in just 2 quick swings, just carve through the chest and then take down most of the throat. Just tears open, it just crumples to the ground dead. The other, who is currently being bound, is and begins to start making noise and getting ready to.
Are we in a stone room?
You're inside a stone room.
Is there wood?
Yeah, shoot him. Let fly.
There's not much in the way of wood. It's mostly stone here.
Firebolt.
No. The
Firebolt?
No.
Firebolt or fireball?
Bolt.
Okay.
Wouldn't that still make noise?
We can still just
Make a
fucking
little
kill
bit.
him real stealthily, real fast.
Go ahead and roll an attack, everyone who's doing this.
I'm shooting with a crossbow.
Okay, it's definitely flanked, so you get a sneak attack, but you don't have advantage on it.
22 to
Like,
hit?
It's not fully bound.
22 to hit.
That hits.
24.
Hits.
Where is this? 9 17.
Hits.
9.
6 damage, I'm gonna stun him.
Natural 9 fails.
17 damage.
17 damage, and then what's the firebolt do?
It's 2d10, which is 19.
Okay. You watch as he kind of freezes up from the stun and then takes a bolt to the throat. The eyes begin to roll back as a fireball blasts in its chest from the firebolt. And you watch it just burn the edges of its face up in cinders. And it goes quiet before limping to the ground, the smoke coming up from its smoldering corpse.
Out.
At this point, the rags in the corner begin to shift as you watch what appeared to be an individual that was sleeping in the corner begins to come to.
Go.
Look up and you can see what looks to be a more humanoid, one of the most humanoid of the ones you've seen there, but with like kind of the scales, kind of what you managed to make yourself look like begins to come to consciousness. Goes,
Oh shit.
Is he serious?
yeah, there's a bunch of people in the middle of this living. Charm person. That is a 15. Succeeds.
Supposed to be better at this.
Somebody do fucking
shook it
something
off?
because he shook it off.
Don't punch again.
Go for it. The words you hear is, "Who are you? Help!" As the shout is beginning to come out, but you go ahead and
15.
yeah, 15. That hits.
Stun.
That's a failure. Yeah,
He's stunned.
and stuns in the bed.
Oh, sacred flame.
All right, this individual doesn't have a lot of hit points. We'll say for the sake of brevity here.
Oh, yeah.
Being stunned, you guys just quickly. Yep. However, I did have the opportunity to shout out one phrase. We'll see if the guard heard it.
You know, it would be great right now. A distraction, maybe
It's a natural
fire.
15.
Set fire to the house.
It's old stone.
It is all stone. There's no wood. There's no nothing.
Wait.
Yeah, I pull
Inside
out-
this chamber, it's all stone. There's stone tablets that have been carved and then placed up against each other. There's occasional seams you can see through, and the ceiling above appears to be slats of stone that have been placed in kind of a lattice formation.
I pull out all the cherry bombs that I have and I go, get your fucking fireworks.
Wait, maybe nobody heard.
Let's just get out.
Let's just get out.
Is there anything, a hole in the ceiling or anything? Is there a roof?
Ceiling stone too.
The ceiling point you can see looking up. There is no second floor or anything, and it looks like it's just a continuation of stone. But it looks like a series of thin slats of some kind have been placed one next to the other in a layering thing to create a ceiling.
Back door?
No, this entrance is the only way in and out. There's a window.
I'm going to quickly grab 2 arrows from one of the dead lizards and stick them in his chest, and I'm going to walk out.
Okay.
I'm going to go. Yeah.
It was a suicide.
Okay.
And we're going to.
It looked like
All right.
they all fought each other or something.
Yeah.
You guys turn the corner, and as you exit, you can see that large, looming, slithering snake figure with a huge scimitar that's probably 15 foot from tip of tail to nose. Thick, burly body is like slithering its way towards you.
Like can see us?
Like,
Yeah, what do you mean
like
towards
it,
us?
meaning it, whatever noise this figure made,
shit.
it managed. I rolled high in its perception. It managed to pick up the sound of its call, and is making its way in your direction.
Okay. I will point down the street away from us and go and cast a major image, and I will summon the image of a manticore. A large manticore roaring and thrashing in the street.
Oh, that's tight.
All right. Full sound and everything, right? 'Cause major image, you can do the full spread.
The whole
so,
makes sound, does the whole shit, smells.
So
the
now,
whole thing.
suddenly, in the middle of this room, all of you turn and look and see as a full-grown manticore, akin to the one that you battled not that long ago beneath the mines near Allfield. You see wings unfurled. All of a sudden, all eyes in the city shift to this creature. In a matter of moments, you can see arrows being loosed in its direction, hitting the ground near it. The snake that was approaching you spins around, begins to draw its serpent, and begins to approach.
On us or on the
Manticore.
On the manticore.
Great, let's
We
run.
ran away. We ran away.
So you put that behind where the serpent was?
Yeah, so he has to turn and move away from us.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you guys kind of arc the opposite direction, heading towards where the base of this temple is. There is another one of those that is currently kind of at the bottom of the stairway that is making its way in your direction.
I just pointed the manticore.
You point at the manticore. Just make a.
Why can't I point at the
She's the one who did it. She's the one who did
Hey
it.
man, I look like a snake
Yep.
person.
Make a deception check.
You do.
Hey man, this is gonna be great.
The
Amazing.
DC is low on
Amazing.
these because you're
Yeah.
Hey!
You got this. You're gonna be great.
9.
Oh, shit.
Just had to beat a 10.
You had to beat a 10.
Yeah.
So you push, and it turns around and sees the manticore, and kind of looks at you curiously, and has to like take a moment to decide which is more dangerous, the manticore or this curious serpent. Goes ahead and just grabs you by the chest.
What?
Wait.
And just begins dragging you with it. It's like I'm gonna do both.
It makes a grab for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just goes like I can't choose, so it goes ahead and
Blindness.
just grabs you.
Blindness?
I'm gonna blind him before he grabs her.
Okay. Well, first is to try and grapple you. So
Okay.
go ahead and if you want to fight it.
Okay, yeah, I'll try to back
All
away.
right, so acrobatics check, natural 2. So make an acrobatics or athletics check to try and break.
Cool, 1.
So yeah, it grabs you. However, what's the DC on the spell?
Constitution 16.
Natural 2 again.
God, good.
It was like 22. So all of a sudden goes, it loses sight and you see its eyes starting to blink out. Where once the kind of the piercing yellow snake eyes kind of fade to a snowblind white now. Pulls its blade out and just kind of looking around, looking kind of freaked out at the process. You have to break that grapple. It's still holding you.
Oh,
Make another athletics or acrobatics check. What are you making?
Jesus. Nope. Do another one.
That was a very
You only
aggressive
have 20
roll.
to pick from you. We'll be fine.
What, athletics or acrobatics?
Give your choice.
Acrobatics.
All right.
Oh God.
Dear Lord, fucking 7, but he still rolled a natural 2, right? No.
Well, that was the last time. This he rolled a natural 8, so he's still holding on to you. He's blind, but he's holding on to you, and the scimitar's out and it's swinging it wildly in whatever's in the area now that it can't see, and it's just.
Can I take the sword and take a shot right at its wrist that's holding her? With the hand that's holding on to Jessica?
Sure, it's going to be at a major penalty.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll.
17.
17? Okay, go ahead and roll damage.
Okay.
Oh boy, this is going terribly.
It's going great. We're doing good. Oh, that's good. That's a 14. 14.
Okay, I'll say that'll give you advantage on your next check.
Okay.
It doesn't break the hold.
I will step forward and say to the beast, how does the Lucidian Ocean say goodbye? It just waves. And I'll cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter on it.
Okay. Natural 4. Falls to the ground and begins chuckling, though in the middle of its chaos, it is now blinded and laughing. It releases you.
Okay, good.
The manticore is still roaring. People are now, or creatures are now flooding out of the city to come combat this, and you can see some of them are swinging and beginning to notice something strange.
Running.
All right, as you guys are just charging towards the temple, you bypass that one now. You're heading up the stairs. Up across the way, you can see there's one of those crotchety, snake people that you saw patrolling the upper area, who has its longbow out and is currently firing one after another arrow towards the manticore. It's moved out to the side. Doesn't seem to immediately notice your presence as you approach. If you guys are trying to stealth by without gathering its attention, I need you all to make another stealth check now that you've engaged in combat. So.
At 10.
You'll need it.
Okay.
Well, hold on. Pass without trace. Is it concentration?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you cast hold person since then.
Oh, hold person is a. You're right.
Spell management.
Sorry, I didn't realize hold person was a concentration.
It's okay. It is.
My bad.
So straight stealth checks, guys.
Okay.
13.
13.
22.
7.
Roll for Yasha.
20.
I got you.
12.
17.
I have Yasha's character sheet, and she rolled a 10.
Okay. Hold on.
I mean,
Super down the middle.
This is the episode where we start thinking. This is the one.
There we go.
Something's out there.
Chaos.
Natural 20 on his end.
Oh.
I rolled a natural 20 on my D20.
No, I know what you mean.
I know.
How far is this?
Turns
this thing?
about 15 feet above you, above the stairs, kind of in just the middle of the open. Glancing off to the side, the manticore still drawing most of the attention. People are starting to figure out the weirdness about it.
Can I use my bonus action to Misty Step up behind him, and I will kick him down the stairs towards the rest
Yes,
of
you
us?
can.
Yes.
In a wisp of dark shadow energy, you watch as 4 just vanishes from sight and teleports right behind. Go ahead and make an athletics check.
Oh god, that was used to be really great for me. 17.
Natural 4. You Sparta this fucker right off the side of the temple. You watch him tumbling down the entire length of the side of this temple before hitting the ground and skidding and looking unconscious and bleeding out the side of his mouth at the base of the temple.
Firebolt.
Okay.
On the dead guy?
Yeah.
Roll
Is
for
he
attack.
dead or is he unconscious?
He's unconscious.
That's a 14. It's a 22.
Technically, he's prone because he's on the ground, so it's disadvantage. Roll one more time.
It's 15, 23.
That hits. Roll damage. So the damage he took from the fall there.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Jesus. It's a baseball. I was looking at Yasha.
We're all a little
chronic shroud.
Just 5.
5 points of damage.
What does that mean?
Foof. Current.
That's the sound.
Okay. So he's burning and not moving.
He's more unconscious now.
Let's get the fuck out of
Keep
here.
going.
All right.
Is there an entrance to this tower?
Oh, you mean
Going up
you're going
the
stairs
stairs?
at the side. It levels off towards the top of it, but you don't know what's at the top there.
Is anyone following us?
Make a perception check.
Many people.
Everybody.
Okay, 15.
15. Glancing around, I mean, the manticore is kind of causing a huge ruckus in the middle of the city, and those that have begun to realize that it's an illusion are looking around confusedly, and at the moment do not see you, but that time is going to be very short because you're out in the middle of the sunlight. The trees aren't above you now. This is an open clearing in the middle of the jungle, and you're just kind of running up the side of this temple stairs with the light down upon you from the sky.
How tall is this person who just died?
Maybe from foot to shoulder.
Yeah.
About 4 foot.
He's only 4 feet?
No, it's a tiny hunched kind of.
Okay, I take out some iron powder and I go, and he shrinks to 1/8 of that, and I pick him up.
Wait, the one you just shot?
Yeah, I don't want to leave him here.
He's at the bottom of the temple.
Oh, he went down there? Oh, I thought he was at our
Oh,
feet.
No, you guys have been climbing the temple, and he kicked him down off the side of it. It's all good.
I would only do it if he was right where we were.
Right. No worries.
Let's just keep running.
Yeah. In. Out of light, out of the way.
Okay. So as that idea flashes through your mind, that'd be cool, but it's not gonna work. So you keep rushing, and we come back to the moment as you guys dart to the side of the temple. Everyone make one more stealth check now that you've kind of had that brief encounter and teleported behind to make sure that nobody catches you before you reach the top portion.
Stealth, you said?
Stealth, yes.
Oh, God.
12 for me, natural 18 for Yasha.
Good.
12.
11.
20.
19.
17.
Hey.
That's still a pretty high average, and it's more than understanding. So a couple stumbles coming up the stairs from some of you, but largely you make it cresting to the top of the platform. You get there for a second, take a few breaths and realize, glancing over the side, that people are still kind of emerging. Look over the side and you can see dozens of these snake creatures, these snake people are emerging from the buildings and heading towards the sound of this raging manticore. And there are those that are now scattering from the manticore, trying to engage them to tell them that it's not what they think it is. And there are eyes glancing around, and you can see the sentinels now are starting to, but you guys are keeping low and out of sight. No one at the moment seems to notice where you are, and the few that have noticed you, you've either taken out or have lost sight of where you were traveling. So for the moment, you feel safe. You do, now at the top of the temple, you can see what looks to be some sort of a worship terrace. There's torch-bearing statues of snakes sitting near the corners of each of these 5 sides of the temple, similar in shape to the one that you found, the idol. In fact, you see at the top of each of these torches, there's a similar kind of golden idol, but where the one you have is smooth, each of these has a kind of a carved divot on the inside where the torch itself is actually burning, or where materials are placed in to burn as a torch when the night comes, or for whatever ceremonial uses it requires.
And the top is open air?
I mean, right now it's open platform. You do see in the center of it a heavy stone tablet, about 12 foot by 6 foot, that kind of rests directly in the center. You can see rings, metal rings that are that are kind of bolted in with metal rivets that kind of hold it on the sides of the tablet, and the stone itself appears to be stained with a variety of various shades of stain.
Blood.
Okay.
Mahogany.
Yes.
Rosewood.
Yeah.
So much stain.
So much stain.
Where are we supposed to go?
Yeah, we head towards the tablet.
So wait, you said there were tablets with rings on the corners of the tablets
there was one stone table, about 12 foot by 6 foot. You can see on the sides of it there are rings that are bolted in, and there are stains across the stonework.
Super sacrifice-y.
Yeah, obviously
Cool.
for killing.
Yeah.
With all the reading that I have done, can I ascertain or have a good guess at what this is used for besides?
Yeah, you have a good idea.
Yeah.
No, I know it's for killing people, but to do something. To do something. Summon things. Make a god happy.
Does it look like a trapdoor?
I have read many books.
Well, make an Arcana check.
Thank you.
And make a religion check.
All right.
Oh, I got a 1.
Okay. Great. Not entirely certain.
I got 12.
I'm a neighborhood.
You get the senses for sacrifices, but you're not entirely certain to what ends and to what purpose, whether it's just ceremonial or for a specific purpose.
It doesn't look like it moves.
We're still out in the open?
You're out in the open on the top of this temple, but you do see, as you're kind of inspecting the table and look around, there is a trap door made of the same color stone that has a handle built on it that you can pull back.
Love you.
Should I check for traps?
Is it safe?
Sure, I'll check for traps. 18. Investigation.
All right. It looks to not be trapped, though it is locked.
All right, I'll unlock it. That's 28.
28. Getting down to this device, you can see it's an intricate, thick, long key. What would have been probably that long, and have a whole series of intricately designed cliffs to it to hit all the various tumblers. Thank you. To get this to open. However, you manage to get multiple angles and kind of press and hold with all of your tools, and it takes everything in your bag to get through it. But you manage to just hit each one properly and then lift, and it pulls open with a grinding sound.
That was not supposed to work.
That was really good.
That was luck. That was dumb luck.
We're all gonna get it. Come on.
You do hear what sounds like a smattering of hissing and growling sounds that are getting louder and louder.
Get inside of it.
Can
you relock it or something?
Probably not, but I can try.
Shut it and hope they didn't notice we came up here. Let's go.
Okay, you all dart inside. At this point, as you're kind of stepping inside, you see on the opposite end, rushing up the edge, you see Jamadi kind of go, very good, very good. And he jumps inside the rest of you.
Where's Avantika?
I have not seen her.
Bullshit.
I haven't.
You lying?
Make an insight check.
I'll enjoy this one as well.
Shit.
25.
9.
Hard to read.
Doesn't matter.
Hard to read.
Hey, how great was New York Comic Con?
Boy, sure was fun, Sam.
We met a lot of great critters.
We did.
And thanks for everyone for coming out to the live show. And we'll be back again next year. I don't know if that's true.
So I keel over mysteriously dead. Just kidding. Sorry.
Oh, God.
No. All right. Cool.
All right, so he darts inside. The rest of you guys dart inside. You close it?
Yes.
Yes,
I mean, like,
close it, yeah.
Yeah.
She's on her own.
I'm closing slowly.
All right. As you're kind of closing it gently, you can see shapes coming up over one and now a second side of this temple. There are a few that are charging up. All right. It locks instinctively from the inside. The latch locks behind itself.
We may not have much time. Dark vision, what do we see?
All right. So you are now standing in a small 5-foot by 8-foot chamber. You are all cramped in there, but there is a spiral staircase that leads down.
Time to go.
One at a time.
You first.
What? Me?
Check for traps.
I will
Whoever
have
I'm
to take a
standing
big
next to, I
swig.
grab their butt.
Who's rubbing my elbow? That's weird.
I'll take a big swig of liquor and start going down and scanning for traps.
Okay. Make an investigation check.
Avantika, are you here?
That's shit. It's I only rolled an 11.
All right. There is a faint noise here that goes, "Not worry. I was waiting for you up top this entire time."
I'm casting Mage Armor.
All right. Mage Armor is on. What'd you roll?
11. For
11.
investigation.
Seems safe.
Coast is clear. Let's go.
Okay. So it's not charging down the stairs. The rest of you kind of follow suit. The chamber beneath has some sort of a faint fiery light source, and it opens up below you. As you kind of move downward, you can see what looks to be, it is a pentagram-like chamber, not a perfect pentagram, but there are 5 sides to it, one that's shorter than the rest, and it kind of gives this almost diamond shape to the interior of the chamber. You can see there are 2 walls on the sides, and there are bits of kind of green growth in the corners. In the center, you can see there's a raised platform with some sort of a fountain that rests in the middle. And there are 4 figures kind of standing around this fountain, which is precisely what you notice as your foot hits one of these steps that gives out from underneath, and the stairs suddenly kind of shift into a sliding platform. All of you.
How steep?
It's about a 45-degree angle.
So how fast does the fall feel?
It's only about 10 feet, 15 feet down, and what would have stopped you to catch a moment, you all of a sudden, so it's going to be...
So it's not that far down.
It's not going to be a hard fall, but any sense of stealth you would have had or any sort of surprise is gone, as all of you managed to barely glide your way to the bottom or stumble on your ass, sliding to the bottom of this chamber, and there in the darkened, lit interior chamber, you can see 3 of these figures standing around this fountain, holding bowls, glance over their shoulders towards you, and
Oh, good. Is this
hiss with sharpened
drinking
snake
party
teeth.
we were looking for at Hoof?
And behind the fountain, you see one almost jet black gray humanoid body. It's a little larger than the others, with a giant extended snake head, the cobra hood long and wide on each side. Its eyes almost glowing red from the back.
I begin casting slow.
And we'll get to that next week.
Oh my god!
Oh shit! The
big black
I was
cobra
so
hood
into it.
arms, or just the serpentine body?
It's a slender humanoid body that's tall and thin, but its body is just gray, scaled, and armor plates, and then from its shoulders it extends up into the hooded cobra.
And the other three that were in the chamber?
Yeah, it's probably about 7 foot tall, and the others are about 5.5, 6 foot tall.
Jeez, hit skip and go to the next episode.
We got a week.
Yeah, don't we have that little box that appears that it's just counting down from 10, 9, 8, and it's going to automatically skip to the fight right now? Right? Can we just hit it?
Yeah.
We all got shit to do in the morning.
So true. Yeah, but Cobra fight.
I know. We'll pick it up there next week.
Tomorrow's a long day.
I know.
Good shit, Matt.
Yeah,
Well,
that was fun.
now you guys are in the temple. We'll see where it goes from here. I'm excited.
Only good things.
It's so Indiana Jones.
Yeah, this is
So Nathan Drake.
I was like, where are we gonna stick the rubies? Where do we stick the? I don't know where to stick the.
Stick the rubies.
The rubies have a purpose. I know it.
Look at all these dice that fucked me tonight.
That's a t-shirt. All right. Well, thank you guys. We'll pick this up next week. I'm excited. Thank you guys for kicking around with us tonight. Have a good week. We love you. And is it Thursday yet? Good night.